are live in the city of Gangneung here on the east coast of the Republic of Korea. It is day number 6 of the 2017 World Para Ice Hockey Championships. We take a look at the Gangneung Olympic Park, so many of the venues that will be used for the 2018 Olympic and Paralympic Games in Pyeongchang. Exciting action on the ice here as this tournament really starts to take shape. Game number 2 on day number 6 as we welcome you inside the Gangneung Hockey Center. It is a pivotal matchup here in the middle of the standings as we are ready for Italy versus the Republic of Korea. The Republic of Korea sitting in 3rd place right now. The Italians looking to make sure they get a top 5 finish for that automatic qualification to the 2018 Paralympic Games. Mike Kelly alongside Brent Pope. We welcome you inside the arena, just moments away from puck drop. And so much on the line for both of these countries as we continue to be impressed by the amazing play of the Republic of Korea.
Well, interestingly, you'll hear in just a moment's time when we go to the coach's interview, but they actually are pleasantly surprised with how they performed so far. Remember the result they got against Canada. They were only defeated by Canada 2-0. Canada was sitting atop of the group as a result of the American victory in the first game of day number 6. Of course, now they go to the top of the standings because they were victorious, the Americans, over Canada. But yes, Republic of Korea have been flying high. The Italians will be a worthy adversary for them, though, however, today.
Very interesting to see how this game shapes up. And a little bit earlier, Brent had a chance to catch up with member of the Korean coaching staff.
Game day 6, Republic of Korea take on Italy. Any lineup changes ahead of this match for your team?
Yeah, it's different changes. Today goalies start lineup is number 31, Gangneung. So because he is yesterday is the 3rd period start, and today is Gangneung, and he many know play style is Italy style. So today first goalie is exchange.
You've had a great tournament so far. You've had 3 victories, just the 1 defeat to Canada. Are you surprised by your success?
Yeah, it's a surprise. I too. So because we prepare that the defense system. So player is very good, well, and the breakout good. So I think so that this record result. So I think so.
A great performance so far. Your roster isn't as big as some of the other teams. Is fatigue an issue for Republic of Korea as the tournament goes on?
So a little bit, but some different. But today game, so we are focused today game, very important game. So because last bronze medal game was a revenge match is Italy. So we prepared and focus today game and prepare the next game.
And finally, you talk about Italy. What do you look out for against the Italian team today?
Oh, we looking forward that the Italy team is style and breakout, and where is the shoot and where is the pass, so make a chance. And we looking forward at the goalie. So today we are focused today game, Italy.
We wish you the best of luck today, and thank you for your time.
Oh, thank you very much.
And as you hear from the assistant coach there, Kim Tae-ho, getting more and more comfortable with these English language interviews. And he, of course, speaking, as we said, just about how they are pleasantly surprised, the position that they are in, that they maybe don't have as deep a lineup as far as overall numbers as the Italians or maybe the other teams in this tournament, but they have found a way to be successful. And, of course, they want to keep themselves within the top 5. And as well, they have a real design. As you look at some of the quotes coming through from the players in the press releases, they want to win a medal here in this tournament.
Absolutely, and it will be a lot of speed coming from the Koreans in this game that the Italians will have to find a way to try to corral. The Italians have played very physical in this tournament already. We'll see if that is part of their game plan. Brent, he was a busy man earlier. He had a chance to catch up with the Italian coaching staff as well.
Yep. Coach, game day 6, Italy taking on Republic of Korea. Any lineup changes today for the Italian team?
Yes, we have a little bit change with one player, Roberto Radice, that in the last game he broken his finger. So we changed with Alessandro Andreoni, young guys. We are lucky that we have 3 lines, so it's no problem. We have also some injuries, sometimes happen. And so we have this little change, but not so much change for the other line.
Italy's had a solid tournament so far. You're in a position potentially to maybe be in a bronze medal match. Is that the goal for Italy from this tournament?
Yeah, we don't think about bronze medal or medal, but we don't think we'll arrive in one of 5 positions because we won't go to the Paralympic for the next year. So now we won't think about position, and this is a very important match. It's against Korea. This is, I think, the most important match for now for us. So we have to play very tough.
Just a comment about your leading scorer now, Nils Larch, a teenager, scored a couple of goals last game, a couple of power play goals. Just a comment about his tournament so far for Italy.
Yeah, he has great players, so play very good in second line with Christoph De Pali and Werner Winkler. With Christoph De Pali, it's the other guys, young guys, so play together very well, and Nils have a very good shot, and I think they can do also more best.
And finally, Coach, Republic of Korea, of course, they've been playing extremely well as well. You're not talking about a potential bronze medal match here, but what do you expect from Republic of Korea today?
Republic Korea played different game in this game before. They play very good in defensive zone against Canada, but they play also so good in offensive. They are very fast. They have 1 or 2 players very fast, and players shoot very good. So we have to play smart game. We have to play good in the defensive and make a good forecheck and try to do the best in offensive zone.
We thank you for your time and wish you the best of luck today, Coach.
Thanks. Bye.
And a great conversation there with the Italian coach. And he, of course, wasn't really wanting to pin their colors to the mast to say that they are here to win a medal, or that this is, in fact, maybe the beginning of the possibility of a bronze medal game that we might get into in game day 8. They're still focusing, the Italians, on wanting to get through in one of those top 5 positions, and that's entirely their goal. I think the rest of it, they'll just see how it takes itself as we move through the latter stages of the tournament.
Well, this is a big game for both teams as we talk about jockeying for position right now in the standings. The Republic of Korea, they still have an opportunity to potentially finish in a top 2 spot and play for a gold medal, if not at the very least solidify a spot in the bronze medal game if they can pick up some points here. And a number of players to focus on in this game for the Italians. Their leading goal scorer right now, leading point scorer in the tournament is Nils Larch, which is a little bit of a surprise. Had a couple power play goals in the last game. And for the Koreans, no surprise at all. It's Jung Si-hwan, number 14, who's been so fast. We talk about him maybe being one of the fastest, if not the fastest player in all of para ice hockey. He's got 7 points. You look at the stick handling, so creative for this team. We've had a ton of fun watching him in the tournament.
He's a game breaker, and you have to have a player like this, particularly for Republic of Korea. Got to remember, 2 years ago in the World Championships, they qualified by winning Pool B to get through to Pool A, and now, of course, they're hosting the Paralympic Games in a year's time, and they are by right performing here amongst the world's best in para ice hockey, and you have to have a superstar. He is their superstar for this program. He's basically put them on his back, and he is carrying this Republic of Korea team forward. He's giving them momentum, he's giving them hope, and of course, he's giving them big-time goals at key times in hockey games to give them the success they've had so far. 3 wins, just the 1 defeat against Canada. That's very good going for Republic of Korea at the World Pool A Championships.
About as good as it could get for them so far in the tournament. And the goaltending has been fantastic for the Koreans as well. So a lot going right for them. The Italians, though, again, this will be a competitive match, and they have every opportunity of picking up points here and locking up a top spot in this tournament also. So we'll have puck drop coming up in just a matter of moments as we get ready here. It is Italian taking on the Republic of Korea. Game 2 on day 6 action. Welcome back inside the Gangneung Hockey Center. It is Italy and the Republic of Korea. We've talked about why this is such a big game for these teams. Right now, the Koreans with 9 points sitting in third place. If they can pick up 3 here, that will give them 12 points in 5 games, which will be equal to Canada. As we take a look now at the officials for this game, it will be Kevin Webinger, the Canadian, as the referee, Nicholas Bradshaw from the United States, and Tibor Fezikis, the Serbian, manning the lines. So the Koreans an opportunity to potentially move into a tie for second place with Canada. Canada would still have them on goal differential, but with one more day in the tournament, opportunity for movement there. For the Italians, if they pick up a win in this game, a 3-point regulation victory, that will guarantee them a finish no lower than 4th, which means they will automatically be playing for a medal. So a lot on the line here for both squads.
This is as curious a fixture as we have had in the tournament so far as to just how it's going to play out. Both of these teams, of course, able to stick with each other. They have found ways to score goals when required, and equally they can defend resiliently as well. It really will be an interesting dimension to just see just how for real Republic of Korea really are. They have balance in goal as we look at their lineup here. Today it's going to be Gangneung who gets the start. He played the 3rd period in the match that they played against Sweden yesterday to finish, and it was Lee Jae-wong who played the first 2 periods. So they distribute the goaltending pretty fairly throughout. Their defense, we look at Han Min-soo, number 68, but Jang Dong-shin, another big presence on the blue line for them, but it's up front, of course, number 14, Jung Si-won, who is the danger man. Cho Bien-suk is still suspended as a result of a hit that they had. He's number 27 against Norway, but Park Woo-chul needs to be smart, and Jang Jong-ho, the captain, he's also a danger man. Lee Jung-sung, number 21. So there are a number of different options, but they don't have a very deep lineup, Republic of Korea. Every player that's in the lineup contributes.
No question about it, and we talked about the offense they've been able to provide and where it's come from. Defensively, they've been phenomenal, allowing just 4 goals in 4 games in this tournament. On the Italian side, it is Nils Larch, number 11, who's leading them offensively with 5 points in the tournament. Sandro Caligaris, he's the top goal scorer, number 9. When they need a goal, he's the guy. He's got 4 goals in this tournament. Nobody else on the team has more than 2. So Caligaris and Larch have been carrying things. And then on the back end, Gianluigi Rosa has been eating a ton of minutes. He's a physical presence. He doesn't have a point, or rather he has 3 points in this tournament in 4 games. So he can do it offensively and defensively, play a really strong 200-foot game. He's a great skater. A lot of options on both sides. And like you talk about, Brent, maybe other than the Canada-USA game yesterday, this is the game where we wonder which team will come out on top. It really seems to be a toss-up so far. We take a look at the head coaches as we start with the Republic of Korea. It is Sao Kwang-suk, rather. And for the Italian side, it's Massimo Durin.
And the Republic of Korea coach, very passionate. You see him, his command of English is maybe not as strong as some of his other coaching staff, but he communicates very clearly with his team. They understand the intensity, the passion, and the desire for execution. Even late in the game when they were up 6-0 yesterday against Sweden, he called a timeout. He called a timeout for a couple of key reasons as we look at Gangneung, who is going to be given the goaltending responsibility to start the game at least here today. 105 minutes played, 1.29 goals against average, 93.18 save percentage. Those are great numbers for Gangneung in goal, but we talk about that timeout being called by Republic of Korea yesterday. Remember, the 2 goals that they conceded against Canada were in the last minute of the first period and the last minute of the second period, and that is just mental toughness and attention to detail. He wanted to make sure to iron that out in the game yesterday.
It will be Gabriele Araudo, the Italian goaltender in this game. You look at the 120, the numbers for him so far on the tournament. Pretty good as well. So it is Italy. It is the Republic of Korea. It's puck drop now as Laperti out there, the physical presence for the Italians.
And it will be taken by Italy with the opening control off this face-off. And we will see a lot of this, the possession in the neutral zone as they compete for the puck and try to get it clean. But immediately Korea with an advancing play here as Na Dan-suk is the first one to it. He doesn't catch it as clean as he might have liked, but oh my, what a hit there. And Rosa is going to get penalized. Rosa's really taken a good liberty on the Republic of Korea forward, and Na Dan-suk is down and a little bit out at the moment. You see him get back upright, but he was really hit hard by Rosa.
Yeah, he was very slow to get up. Not a lot of movement there for a few seconds. We take another look at the hit here. It's coming in behind the boards. Right there is Rosa. That's teeing every single time as he takes a sled out from underneath. Suk there, and that is an awkward way to fall. So 2-minute power play coming up for Korea.
And particularly as the sled from Rosa caught him on his hand. His hand was bracing himself on the ice, and that's what he took out. And careful not to have, we've actually seen an injury already, a broken finger for one of the Italian players not in the lineup, Radice, today. So we see just how capable the players are, of course, getting themselves in harm's way. And you get a sled against your hand at a pretty good speed like that, of course, you're going to do well to come out of it uninjured. And fortunately there, I think Suk is going to be okay. But a power play for Italy inside the opening minute, or rather Republic of Korea. The Italians take the penalty, and now 5 against 4. It's Han-Min-Soo who will set things up, and here is a danger man, the game breaker, as he gets his first shot in on the game. It's Jung Si-won from the outside, and immediately the puck comes right back to him. It's like a magnet. That's what happens with top-level players. They generally have a good instinct for where the puck's going to go, and Caligaris, another good player on the penalty kill. He's done well to break that one up and send Leperti on the forecheck.
Yeah, Lee Jong-kyun there with a really poor decision to make that pass across the middle of the ice. It was easily intercepted and cleared by the Italians. And the Koreans will collect themselves now and move the puck up ice. A dump-in attempt that's a little too long, and it'll go for icing. Never a good idea to ice the puck when you're on the power play, and the face-off will come back down in the Korean zone.
And you get a sense that was all about the forecheck there. Leperti gets in. Of course, he's been a great physical presence for Italy throughout this tournament. He gets on it and applies that pressure, and then they're a little bit flummoxed, a little bit disoriented coming out of their own zone, Korea. So nonetheless, a face-off inside their own zone. We're just over a minute gone, and it's the power play for Korea. As Leperti, again, a big body, trying to muscle and win this puck and see if, in fact, Italy can control some more precious time in this Korean end zone. But it'll be moved across by Park Woo-chul. And in behind their own goal, Lee Jong-kyun. Just need to make sure that they are making good, sensible plays and efficient with their possession. This is a good wide ice pass. Wasn't taken on the first touch, but it'll be collected here coming into the zone by Han-Min-Soo. And coming in off the blue line, it's good movement here, and a great strip, though, by Florian Planker to make sure that the danger man, Jung Si-won, didn't get an ease of access, a passport right in behind that Italian goal with ease of the puck on his stick.
You see how quick he is. He's back to pick it up, and already coming right out of the zone of the Koreans here is another pass intercepted by the Italians, and Caligaris isn't a guy you want to turn the puck over to. He can shoot the puck from just about anywhere on the ice and give himself a good chance to score.
And he has scored shorthanded in this tournament already, and with his speed, as he's right there again, as now finally getting a breakthrough. It's Jung Si-won. He's starting to create some room down this right side, but he's got 2 Italians on him, even on the penalty kill. 2 players attracted right to him. They see how important it is to close him down. Everything really for Korea runs through Jung Si-won. This is a great chance. So coming out of the corner, immediately this is Planker who knocks him off the play. And this is as much as we have seen from any team physically playing against Jung Si-won, the way they've bumped him off the puck early in his hockey game.
Well, that's what you have to do. He's not a very big guy at all. And if you can lay the body on him, it's difficult to do so because he's so fast. Like any variation of hockey, the quick players, what you say to yourself immediately is, well, just hit them and slow them down. You can't hit them because you can't catch them. But anytime you do have an opportunity to put a lick on them like Florian Planker did right there, always a good idea to try to wear them out as the game goes on.
It's back to 5-on-5. Italy successful in killing that penalty. And in their own zone, Rosa, who took it, now has control of the puck. And he'll just take things in behind his own goal. And as he has been so steady all tournament for Italy, just makes a good, sensible play. And the bounce is perfectly in on Yoo Ming-yeon in the Korean goal. And that's worked out well for Italy, just to give themselves a little bit of shape. And they can push up and try to, in fact, assert themselves in this game so far. They've been on their heels, although they've had a couple good flares pushing forward on the forecheck with the player down. And then now Korea, as we've seen a little bit of a misaligned pass here, and that's a couple of times maybe the Koreans haven't been able to connect a passing play as yet. You just wonder if that's a little bit of something that they need to, of course, be as sharp as possible with.
Absolutely, and both these teams just kind of feeling things out right now as we're back to even strength play and getting set for an offensive zone here for the Italians. We'll see as much of this period so far, the young stages has been played in the other end. The Italians with some good opportunities.
And a good scramble in front. Again, Korea doing well to get in front, but they have not been able to control it. They pick it up from here, and they will just bank it out of the zone. And you get a very real sense here in this hockey game inside the building here, Mike, as there's another icing that there's local television crews here looking to cover this match here for Republic of Korea. And I think it's finally starting to capture the imagination of the local Korean public, just how well their home team is doing in this Para Ice Hockey World Championships.
Well, they've been great, and they absolutely deserve the attention. We've got a good crowd here this afternoon. People still funneling into the building, and we do see more TV cameras than we saw earlier in the tournament for this team. So definitely the word is being spread that there's a real opportunity for the host nation to perhaps win a medal here at this World Championship, which would be great for them, great for the continued development of hockey here. And yes, they are certainly starting to create a lot of attention, and rightfully so. It's been a lot of fun to watch this team.
Italy with this face-off. It's a well-taken one right onto the stick and to the blue line and across. As that's Gianluca Cavaliere wearing the C for the Italian side, and they've moved it around this end zone now. This is Korea a little bit just kind of hustling into an area and as much just hoping that the puck might just bounce favorably. But Italy a little more considered in their shape and probably just generally having a little more structure about their play so far in this hockey game. As there now we see coming across, now Diasuk tries to get there, and he's the first forward checker, and now Jung Si-won comes in. But every time he touches the puck, here's a backside play. Trouble here for Korea. What a save by Arado as he denies the best goal-scoring opportunity yet in the hockey game.
Lee Jung-kyuk with a wide open lane to the net there, and a huge save by Arado. Otherwise, this would have been 1-0 Korea early. And that is a terrific opportunity off some great puck movement there by this Republic of Korea team. Our first real quality chance of this hockey game.
And they just seem to generally find a knack really from nothing, as here's another chance. Right down, a backside play. What a goal and finish there as it's tic-tac-toe top corner as Korea have opened up the scoring. And you talk about precision. They just delivered there in perfect style. It's going to be a goal to Lee Jung-kyuk.
As far as pretty passing plays go, that's top 5 in the tournament that have found the back of the net. Look at this precision pass right here underneath the sled. One-timer, top shelf. That is an all-world shot, and there is nothing Arado can do about it. The fans are going nuts here at the Gangneung Hockey Center as Lee Jung-kyuk has the Koreans on the board here less than 5 minutes in on a phenomenal shot. He captained the national team to a silver medal at the 2012 World Championships. He's in his 4th World Championship. Lee Jung-kyuk, what an absolute beautiful shot. 1-0 Korea.
So impressive how Korea are able to create these opportunities from what looks like a broken play, and they just are able to find an angle towards the goal. As now again, it is Jung Si-won who will race to get to the puck first, and he'll look to see who's supporting him. He does a drive through. He gets upended by Florian Planker, but of course, he's got good puck support, and they're still now trying to dislodge that puck and wrestle it away from the Italians, but Italy get it first. They bank it off the boards, but it's again well read by Korea, who've been so efficient with the chances that they have been able to create. And here they come again. The shot is blocked. Good defensive work from Italy. They've just been able to disrupt that continuous flow, but they just find enough at the right times, and so clinical they are, efficient with the offense that they do generate.
Very fast team, and they're able to move the puck around the ice very quickly. As you see, a nice body check there by one of the most physical, if not the most physical player on the Italian team, Leperti. And that will be one key for the Italians in this game to try to slow these speedy Korean players down, is try to lay the body out and really engage physically.
Leperti just puts the Korean player right in the crumple zone, and he does well not to have himself buckled and unable to continue the way he went into him. Leperti just blows up the airbag on the Korean player, but he's all right, and he carries on. It was a heavy crash, though, in the end boards, as it is Korea, who are just trying to come up with possession and control. And there's an injured Italian player down. We expect that probably the whistle's coming here in a moment, and didn't see that as it was off the play and wonder if it was incidental contact. But Italy, a man down on the ice right now, and just can't quite see who it is. But we'll get a look here in a moment as he's receiving some attention. So we will, with this opportunity, just step aside. It is 1-0 Korea over Italy. We have an injury break here now. That was Florian Planker that was temporarily injured on the play, and he seems to be all right. He's made his way under his own power across the ice, and play will resume with the face-off just outside the Italian blue line. And good to see. Not sure entirely what happened on the play there, Mike, but he certainly, as Florian Planker is a player who likes to get involved physically, maybe a little surprised to see that he was on the wrong end of one.
A couple of players down in the first 7 or so minutes of this game, as here's an opportunity for the Koreans, and a nice save by Arauto. But it is, there has been some physicality in this game as well. Obviously, you don't want to see injuries, but don't expect these two teams to stop laying the body, as we have another collision here going into the corner.
And holding to the boards well, keeping that puck to the boards. They don't want to allow it to come off the boards. If in fact sometimes you can't make those plays out of your defensive zone, maybe just keeping it tight so it isn't easy. There's a good shot, though, scoop from the blue line. Cavalier has himself an effort from there, and he just paddywhacks a left-handed sizzler that almost finds the angle over Yu Men Yun in Republic of Korea goal. And you heard the ooh and the ah from the local support. They saw and knew just how close that was. Zarado makes that good save a moment ago that goes right off his toe, and you have to be so careful as these goaltenders. Some of the goaltenders, of course, elect to play front up, straight towards the shooter. Some will generally like to play side on, and a little bit of a different goaltending style from each goaltender in this tournament. As you'll see some that, of course, want to lay out and prefer to take it in the body, or, of course, try to bait the shooter into shooting to their glove hand, which is their strongest attribute. But again, Korea having to do the yeoman's work in the corner to come up with control, and they've got good numbers there. It's just bled out of the corner, and it's worked out well for Korea. Again, they've advanced it, hopefully for themselves, not too heavy, but they have just put a little bit too much on it as it's gone the length of the ice for an icing against. 6:34 officially from the game clock above the center of the ice, and it is 1-0 as you see Korea taking the chance that they've got, but really Italy having as much of the play in the offensive zone too.
And here's Daisuke. He gets stopped there in the relatively easy save by Arauto. And we saw a moment ago Florian Planker speaking with the linesman on the ice, so he's back out there for the Italian team. Good to see that whatever was keeping him down for a moment was nothing too serious, and he'll continue to play on with his teammates.
Korea moving the puck with a little more purpose forward in today's game. There's a good shot. It is missing on the near side, and they anticipate it to the far side. They're the first ones to it. Oh, that's Arauto. That's kind of a dangerous play just to a corral that almost just passed him. And he really needed to be confident to make certain that he had the stick in the right angle, or could have just as easily gone off his blade in his own goal.
Every shot is a difficult shot. What we mean by that is that you've seen a lot of shots from the point that go high as well, and if you catch a goalie leaning the wrong way, or maybe catch him on his blocker side, there's room at the top of the net to try to score. Also, if you get him leaning the wrong way, you can potentially score the lower part of the net. So anytime there's a shot from anywhere inside the attacking zone, there's an opportunity to score. We've seen a couple goaltenders get caught off guard so far in this tournament.
Valerio Corvino was the intended target for that pass. A good idea by Italy, and you get a sense that maybe a quick strike on a transition or try to get a breakaway pass would be advantageous for them, and see if they can't, of course, make a game-breaking play from maybe something out of their own zone and get an easier one. Not to say that any goal is going to be easy, but some require a little less effort than others, as right now a lot of work going in from Italy just to get the puck in a good position offensively and try to make positive play with it, as Korea skating well here across this line. There's a little bit of body contact. Rosa disrupts that, and now Leperti. Leperti might go on a breakaway here. Leperti should get a shot off. He's all alone for Italy. He doesn't quite get enough of it, though, as Yu Ming-yun will be level to it. And Leperti goes to his left hand, and you wonder if that was his stronger hand. Didn't quite get the shot maybe he would have wanted.
Leperti, a great opportunity. Just couldn't get a ton on it. We'll give you another look at it when we come back in just a moment. 1-0 Republic of Korea.
The lone goal from Korea, the assist coming from, you might have guessed it, number 14, Jung Si-won. He made a great play, but a few of them involved in this one. The ultimate goal scorer is Lee Jung-kwon, who finishes off the play. And boy, it was a beauty for Korea. A well-worked team goal, and we have seen that so often. It's been rare that they've had any rebound goals. Most of them have been an open play where they've been able to create an odd man situation.
Yeah, it was a great passing play. One of the finer passing plays we've seen in this tournament. And the shot as well, a one-timer, a true one-timer where it is just right off the stick into the top part of the net. Phenomenal stuff on the opening goal from the Koreans.
They work again to get it out. Again, Rosa, very stingy on the blue line for Italy, and he doesn't allow a whole lot to get past him. A big body for Rosa, but what's happened is seen as an intentional offside, and so the face-off will in fact come all the way down into the Italian defensive zone. And there you see, he had 7 points ahead of that one, now with 8 officially in the tournament. Jung Si-won, he's got the 5 goals, 3 assists now, and a +9. So a great rating, of course, is plus-minus. That's even strength and how that's evaluated. He is a attribute, well, an asset beyond compare for Korea. He is their superstar, and as we said, a lot of interest inside the Gangneung Hockey Center today to be watching this matchup, because this really puts Korea in the driver's seat to be in at least a medal match with a victory here today.
Yeah, absolutely. If the Republic of Korea get a 3-point victory here today, they are guaranteed to play for a medal. In fact, even if they get a 2-point victory, if it goes to extra time, they will be guaranteed to play for a medal. So this is a big game for them, and no question, just the opportunity to play for a medal is maybe more than a lot of people would have expected at the start of the tournament, but they've been brilliant all tournament long, and I think everybody has taken notice at this point that you have to bring your A game against this team. The only loss they have in the tournament was to a powerhouse in Canada, and that was only 2-0. So a great opportunity to pick up points here this afternoon, and a big game against the United States is coming up tomorrow for the Republic of Korea. And if the United States, who are now sitting in top spot, if they think for 1 second that anything other than their best will be required in that game, they could get surprised as well.
Good shot in from Korea. This now a little bit of a panic defensive play from Italy as they just try to clear their own lines. And talk about Korea, even Jung Si-won saying in a press conference that, you know, really it's about competing here and trying to win a medal in this tournament. And then, of course, trying to go one better when they get to the Paralympic Games in a year's time next March and try to play in the final game. The final game, of course, is the gold medal game. So you talk about lofty ambitions, they are for real. And when he's been able to back it with his own play, it's not as if they're just talking turkey or they're just talking to hear themselves say what they want to hear themselves say. They are, in fact, living it and making it happen.
No doubt about it. And you bring up a good point. It will be interesting to see in a year's time at the 2018 Paralympic Games what this team looks like. They're so impressive right now, and you know they're going to want to try to compete for a gold medal at those games. They'll have a year, just under a year, to continue to evolve and develop. And this has been such an impressive showing. They were automatically going to qualify for the Paralympic Games anyways, but it's looking more and more like they'll be finishing in the top 5. And it's no cheesy berth, it's no automatic, well, we're just here because we're the hosts. They're a deserving team.
Jung Si-won on the puck. Laperti comes across and gets a piece of him, but Laperti hasn't quite been able to be strong enough with that stick work, but he does better this time and lobs it across the ice. It's a good angle, and for Corvino to get onto it, Caligaris maybe coming down through the slot. Will he get a feed? It's lofted over the top, and that's rather just a dump to the open side for Laperti to come in and do his business. And at this stage, you just wonder whether Italy are just seeing if they can't wear out Korea and get into those trenches where maybe their bigger bodies will pay dividends and try to just, in fact, just slow up this Korean side or just put a little bit more tax on those tires to make sure that they aren't running as smooth with all these loose puck opportunities or the chances that they do get. But this Italy doing well down low. A spin move from Caligaris, and he is equally a danger man. Caligaris is the kind of player that can pull something from nothing as well for the Italian side. So not to think for a moment that they can't just find something really as a bolt from the blue, as Jung Si-won is just surfing his way along there, not even using his sticks to propel himself, just slaloming, just with his core body strength and using those skate blades back and forth as he's maneuvering like he's, well, totally in control as he has been throughout this entire tournament. You just can't compliment him well enough. There's a big hit, and the body comes across. Number 21, Lee Jung-sun, who just makes sure that the Italians are reminded that the Koreans equally will play that game.
There's a big hit at neutral ice, as who else? Laperti throwing his weight around.
And right through a seam here, Italy causing trouble. That one just squirts wide. Didn't quite get the direction on it at the end as they would have hoped, but maybe a little bit of room there. And just a positive flicker of some offensive momentum for Italy late inside this first period as we are inside the final minutes. Rosa with a clever move. He's gone in and out. Rosa able to score a goal. He handcuffed Ulf Nielsen yesterday in their match against Sweden, and a surprising shot release from him. As there again, Italy flirting with a late chance and a strike it on goal as that one comes right in the slot area.
Good pressure here to close out the period from the Italians. We hadn't seen much of this in the first 13 or so minutes of this period, but some quality looks at goal and nice defensive back checking as well by the Republic of Korea to take away good opportunities here. The Italians will look for something else, and Republic of Korea managed to clear the puck down ice. Will this go for icing? Yes. No, it won't. It was going to be icing, which would have given Italy about 8 seconds with a face-off in the attacking zone, but somewhat inexplicably, the goaltender Araujo comes out and plays the puck.
Well, that's a little thing, isn't it? Because, of course, you'd want to benefit from a offensive zone face-off late in the period. You could even hazard a guess that maybe you pull the goaltender in favor of an extra outskater, but of course that would be very ambitious early in this hockey game with a 1-0 scoreline. But there, of course, they don't get that opportunity, and the 15 minutes has expired. It's Korea with a 1-0 lead on a well-taken goal, and it was an even strength goal from Lee Jung-kung, and they will go to the break with the lead over Italy.
Welcome back. It is 1-0 Republic of Korea after 15 minutes of play. And they certainly carried a lot of the pace in that first period. The Italians getting some quality looks though at the end of the period. And Italy was looking like they might press and find a way to get a tying goal, but some nice team defense there by the Republic of Korea. And we expected a tight game from the beginning. Even though the Koreans did dictate much of the play, the score is only 1-0.
It'll be interesting to see the shots on goal, because as much as Korea did have the opportunities in the first stage, and of course they get rewarded with a goal in the opening 15 minutes, Italy also had their offensive zone time, and they're just so efficient, aren't they, Korea? They give you the false sense that they really dominated that period, but Italy were right within it. They just were really smart about how they took their chances, and we'll have a look at the highlights now of that opening 15.
Well, it was the Koreans carrying the pace of the play early on as they were able to generate some good looks on goal. Here's a scramble right now. The Italians with a chance in front of the net. It was, again, we talk about the team defense of the Koreans, able to block a lot of shots, get a lot of bodies in the lane. So even when Italy did have good scoring position, a lot of those shots were blocked before they ever got to the goaltender. And then we take a look at some pretty passing here. The passing, absolutely textbook on the goal. And what an absolute rocket there from Lee Gangneung, who goes upstairs, top shelf. A great release.
It is. It's a world-class play, and as you say, it didn't get stopped for a moment. The puck movement was advanced so perfectly, and that is such a precise thing that has to be executed in para ice hockey, that depending, of course, they have two blades that they're able to field the puck or play the puck at any one time, but to be in the right position, body weight-wise and readiness-wise, to be able to receive it in the backhand, turn it to the forehand, or in that instance, to have been able to turn around and was ready to take it in the forehand, and to one-hand touch it and cup it upstairs with that level of accuracy, given the opportunity that they hadn't had a whole lot of them in that first period. It's just that efficiency that I marvel at, because it doesn't seem as though they have a whole lot of preparation to be ready for these moments, but boy, do they take them when they come, and that's the difference in the hockey game so far.
Absolutely. When we talk about the balance required, they use those two sticks to balance themselves on the ice surface. So when you take one of those away to create a shot, it really can throw the balance off, and you see them in the sled just work those angles so nicely. So a very high skill play there. As now we'll take a look at some numbers for you, as this is a very important game. We've talked about Italy and the Republic of Korea trying to jockey for position in the standings. The shots on goal pretty even, dead even actually, at 5 apiece after 15 minutes. Face-offs even as well. That shows you what kind of a period it was. It really was the Republic of Korea with a better of the chances in the first little bit, but a nice finish from Italy.
Well, the thing you focus about with the Republic of Korea, because they're a little bit less of a known team than the Italians coming into these Pool A World Championships, they're a little bit of a surprise story, so they get a lot of attention. And of course, with Jung Si-won as such a mesmerizing player with such great movement, such great speed, and attracting so much attention out there, we can't help but be almost hypnotized by him as well every time he comes on the ice, and we give them so much credit. But you look at the output there, 5 shots apiece, 7 face-offs apiece. It's pretty much a dead level period, other than one game-breaking play from Korea, and that's the difference in the hockey game, and that's what we talk about. They just get given a half sliver an opportunity, and it's not like they do it all the time. They just do it enough to find ways to be successful, and they've done it so far in this tournament 3 times out of 4, and the only time they didn't do it was against the world's best, or certainly one of the world's best.
Yeah, we definitely up here sometimes get caught just being mesmerized by Jung Si-won, watching him on the ice. The Italians have to make sure that the same doesn't happen to them. They've got to try to defend him, and they did a pretty decent job in that first period, but the one game-breaking play, like you talk about, results in a goal. As we are through 15 minutes here at the Gangneung Hockey Center, there's a lot of fans here taking this game in, watching their host nation. 1-0 Republic of Korea after 1. Welcome you back inside the Gangneung Hockey Center. It's 1-0, the Republic of Korea, the host nation, with the lead over Italy after one period of play. 5 shots apiece, 7 face-off wins apiece, and just the 1 goal so far. So it has been a tightly contested game. And we mentioned earlier on as well, Gianluigi Rosa is somebody who's able to dictate the play on the back end for the Italians. He had 3 of the 5 shots in that period for Italy. So a number of big name players getting it done. As we'll take a look at our storylines from the first period of play. And when you watch that period, Brent, what did you see out there?
Well, you see a physical game being played originally by the Italians. That's something that they want to do and be successful at. But the Koreans are disciplined. They play smart with the puck. They manage it well, and they take their chances when they come. That goal, again, as we talk about, is just fabulous efficiency. Their shooting percentage, I'd love to know what it is, and we'll have a look at it as far as their scoring percentage and the shots that they do take. And then, of course, Jung Si-won is the star, and you have a game breaker. Game breakers make big plays in big games, and doesn't matter what sport you're talking about, you have to have those difference makers, and they have one for Korea. And as much as Caligaris is that player who could potentially be that guy for Italy, what he doesn't have is he's not on home ice. He's got a home crowd here behind him, Jung Si-won. They've got a whole Paralympic game movement that's still to come in a year's time. They've got a World Championships that maybe people didn't peg them to be winning a medal in, that right now they're performing above their station. And everything right now for Korea is the wind at their back, and they've got momentum on their side. And that's a difficult thing to slow down sometimes if you're the opposition trying to face them.
There's more and more energy with every game that this host nation plays in this building. You see more and more fans. You see more and more media presence. You can definitely tell the momentum is starting to pick up in this city and in this country for this host nation, as they have come out of the gates flying, winning 3 of their first 4 games. And not to look too far ahead, we still have 2 periods here left as well. But the game that they have against the United States tomorrow is just becoming more and more interesting. So it's been an exciting first period of play so far. 1-0, the Republic of Korea with the lead. We will have puck drop on period number 2 when we come back. Welcome back. We are getting set for period number 2. The Republic of Korea, a 1-0 lead over the Italians. These teams, as we mentioned, jockeying for position in the standings right now. They sit in the 3 and 4 spot. If that's the way it finishes, this will be a preview of the bronze medal game. We take a look at the goaltender for the Korean side. Perfect in the first period. Yu Meng-yun stopping all 5 shots that he faced. And there was a couple of decent looks for the Italians at the end of that period, as in the last couple minutes they really started to generate.
Yeah, they did. And, you know, we talk about a player that got 3 of the 5 shots against them was Gianluigi Rosa. As you look at him right there, and he was outstanding. You know, he was a player that as much, you remind him, if you think of a player in the National Hockey League, just to give a comparison, I mean, he was almost like Scott Stevens, like Rob Blake. He was in the middle of the ice. Duncan Keith, doesn't matter who he's like a Norris Trophy player out there as far as how he controls the play for this Italian team. Breaks things up in the neutral zone, makes that pass coming out of the defensive zone, is up there in the offensive zone, taking shots, setting up plays, and always with a puck on his stick. Everything seems to slow down and to be much more productive when Gianluigi Rosa has the puck on his stick.
He is a really big driving force for this team. He played 7 minutes and 3 seconds in that first period. Florian Plonker, another defenseman for this Italian side, playing 8:37, and Andrea Macri as well on the blue line, 8:52. So those are the three they lean the most on the blue line as we get set to drop the puck on second period action.
Interesting, it's not to the Jung Si-won line that starts this second period. Of course, we're 5 against 5, and there is no penalties. We saw a few of them in that opening period. Italy just taking the extra one, but now a battle coming up. What a play there. Oh, that's special. To come away, and it's Laperti, as that's offside for Korea, but Laperti was coming in with a mission to take the Korean player right out, and he gave him the old hot potato 1-2, and Laperti went driving right past him.
And an interference penalty coming against the Italians. It's the man we were just praising, Gianluigi Rosa, as he came across the middle, delivered a body check at the blue line, and sent the Korean player in offside, where the play was eventually whistled. We'll take another look here as the Italians, right off the draw, trying to get the puck into the Korean zone, and it's Rosa. He's eventually bumped off the puck. The Koreans start back up ice, and the nifty stick work there underneath the sled, going Jan Dong-shin there with a beautiful play. And
oh, they will score right off the face-off, and good things happen when you shoot the puck, as Kim Young-sun finds a way to bury it through the Italian defense, and they've been breached for a power play goal now.
what a shot that was. Top of the circle, right along the ice, and it just squeaks between the end of the sled and the glove hand of Arauto as that one trickles through. A hot shot right on the ice surface, and Kim Young-sung, the 33-year-old, in his third world championship, is on the board. It's 2-0 now for the Korean team. He competed in wheelchair fencing at the national level here in the Republic of Korea, and with the precision it takes to compete in fencing, he finds a hole. 2-0 now for the home side.
Laser point accuracy there from the Koreans off the opening face-off with the power play. And now you see it was their danger man. He tried to get going. He was being leaned on, though. The body weight not allowing Jung Si-won to get going in the first instance. But now immediately, Italy now under pressure. This is going to be difficult for Italy to try to overcome this 2-0 scoreline. Particularly, oh, that's high, a stick up into the neck area. And Jung Si-won looked for a moment to be suffering ill effects from that one, but he seems to be okay. He's back involved. And Italy now pressing the issue, which is what they're going to have to do, but they can't afford to get taken on the transition game from a very fast Korean side.
The Koreans icing the puck there as there was an outlet pass, unable to connect. We'll take another look at the goal. Clean win off the face-off here. So important to do when you're on the power play in the attacking zone. And then it fools Arauto. That's a shot that he's got to have. And it just finds that tiny little gap there between the end of the sled and the catching arm.
And I wonder if it just slightly touched the defender in front, but even still, he takes that front-on goaltending style. Rather than going side-on, he tends to generally try to keep himself balanced and upright. And you just wonder if it's as comfortable a situation to be doing that, because with those point-on shots, they can find a little seam, and that one just slid down a crevice down the side of his sled and into the back of goal, and it is a very key one. Of course, with the power play, the man advantage, they execute, but equally, they've doubled their score margin, which is the real challenge now for Italy as they come forward, and they're meeting a very rugged Korean defense who are confident enough to hold their own blue line. They're not giving any quarter here. Here he is, Jung Si-won. He's in a position. He's got a 2-on-1 option. He's gone off the far right post, and he's hit it like a bullseye, but has come right behind Arauto in the Italian goal and out the other side.
What a great opportunity, and we see some of the speed there from the man they call the Rocket Man, Jung Si-won. A great opportunity, and he hammers it right off the far post, but that is such a good look. And in just an instant, as the Koreans go offside here, in just the blink of an eye, he can get the puck and be gone, get a step on a defender and create a tremendous opportunity.
Well, I think the best way to even capture it is he can take a half chance and turn it into a full opportunity. And that's almost just what he did here. He had a little looking window down the left lane, and he almost exploits Arado all the way across the net on the ice and hits that far right post. And the positioning of Arado, that is a very difficult angle in which to navigate, and he does it with real ease there. He made that happen real quick, and probably just as surprisingly for Arado in the Italian goal.
The Italians now with a face-off in the Korean zone, so they'll see if they can win a draw and try to create some offense here, as they did have a good late push in the first period, but it has been all Republic of Korea here in the second.
Blanker will just hold things in this Italian neutral zone as they'll go far side, and they've elected to play the angles, have Italy, but they don't seem to have that breaking speed that you need to be able to employ to be a difference maker in this tournament, and particularly against a team like Korea. But we have not probably given the full credit to Koreans' defense. They don't break down easy either, as there's a chance though from Kaligaris, and they'll need more from him in this hockey game if they want to get back in the score column.
No question about it. Sandro Caligaris has 4 goals in this tournament. The Italians as a team have 8, so he has quite literally been 50% of their offense so far. And he's a guy that they will lean on. We'll take another look at the opportunity here from Jung Si-won. He identifies that far corner. He wants it, and it is square off the pipe and right back out the other side. And he goes crashing into the goaltender. We're fortunate not to take an interference penalty there. As we take a look at the Korean bench. Another draw in the Korean zone as the Italians try to get something going.
Arado 5 feet out ahead of the blue paint on the crease area, and he still goes long side on him on the ice, and Arado unable to be able to make the save. It was just the saving grace of the post there, and Arado this time, as you see, he has to make that last-ditch effort to sprawl, to cling, to get to that shot, to make sure that it doesn't end up being a third goal.
He's looked a little dodgy in the net, and you talk about the way that he plays shooters straight up. We often see goaltenders who will go in a bit of a side angle so they can get the pad across the net, cover more of the net as a mix-up behind the net. And the air traffic controller wasn't doing his job there. As coming flying into the screen for Italy was Christophe De Pauli. And he was lucky that he didn't completely run over his teammate here, Corvino.
Like ships in the night, they didn't get the message just where their fellow teammate was, and they were lucky that the net releases off its mooring just quite as easily as it does, because that could have been awkward for both of them as they were trying to generate speed overlapping it behind their own goal, and the overlap didn't quite work as well as intended, as it is a face-off won by Italy, and they will in fact just shovel this puck immediately out all the way down on Gangneung, and he'll just put it into the corner, but immediately back. Look how Korea are in a good position. They've got back first and well before the Korean forecheck, the Italian forecheck, although they've turned it over a little bit carelessly here.
Winkler there, an opportunity to try to find someone in front as he sent it behind the net, unable to connect with anybody. Now the Koreans send it down ice. It won't be enough for icing, so the Italians with an opportunity to bring it back up ice and try to get some numbers into the neutral zone so they can get on an attack here.
And a penalty coming up against Korea. I think it's going to be interference here. And that's the indication coming from the Canadian official, Kevin Webinger, as now Italy with a power play. 10:30 remaining in the second period. Korea with a 2-0 lead. An offensive zone face-off for Italy. They have a power play, and it's an interference called against the Korean side. It's their number 28 in the penalty box, and that's Lee Jong-kung, the first goal scorer in this hockey game. So he will await return. He'll be in there for 2 minutes or maybe less if Italy can make something of this chance, as Rosa will just roll down, as you might expect. He is the puck handler for Italy, and this one's just going to be whipped around, but the angle not quite as clean, tight to the boards. This is better across the Larch, and Nils Larch, haven't seen a lot of him so far today, considering he has been this leading goal scorer or point getter for Italy in the tournament. He gets it again on the short angle, but good defense, and again, never to be underestimated just how effective Korea have been at closing down Italian options.
And Larch with a couple opportunities there to make something happen, and he was stymied both times. He'll have to be better than that. He had a couple power play goals for Italy in their last game. He's a big Alexander Ovechkin fan, and he looked like him the other day on the power play, but nothing doing there. There's a pretty nice collision there behind the net, but Rosa still manages to get the puck out to Plonker, and away come the Italians.
And they've got good speed, shape coming through the ice here. Leperti just holds up inside the blue line and protects that puck. He's got Planker coming to his aid, and Planker's just thinking if he wants to go back to Rosa. It's Leperti in a good shape there, but Leperti not accurate enough, and there's been a few looks for Gregory Leperti in this tournament that I'm sure he would love to get a little bit more return from, and he'll just now move it to the near side as Planker will just offload it into the zone, and advanced well here for Caligaris. Better movement from Italy out front, and Jung Si-won has read that one comfortably. And Jung Si-won, we give him so much recognition for himself offensively in what he does, but how present is he defensively in behind his own goal line often for this Korean side too?
No question about it. He thinks the game so well. You see him flying around out there on the ice. He's always in a good position. He anticipates very well. You see him on the back check here in the middle of the screen. A great penalty killer because of his speed and a very high hockey sense. It makes the game seem easy for him because so many times he's in the right place at the right time, but that just comes from thinking the game so well. It's not an accident.
Planker offloads to Leperti. Leperti with a good move, leaving it for Larch, and Larch tries to now navigate in behind this Korean goal. This is a good look here as Yoo Ming-yeon undecided as to whether or not he wanted to commit to the far post, and was watching back through the mesh in his own goal to just see how the Italians were going to approach things. Again, you just see that lobbing effort almost. It's the most dangerous area on the ice, or most likely for congestion, and Italy just put it into that area in hopes that maybe they can win a 50-50 puck back and try to come out and make something happen on Yoo Ming-yeon in the Korean goal. But the power play is now over. It's back to 5-on-5, and Korea successful again in killing the penalty. And Cavalier just offloading. This is looking better, in fairness, from Italy. They've had more positive play and making chances here, moving it around with more intention over the last couple of minutes, and that power play advantage, of course, giving them that puck confidence.
That's a great point. They look a little more confident in the attacking zone, as you mentioned now, and they're still trying to find a way to connect and get the puck to somebody in a dangerous area. They've shot it over the net a couple times. Here's a good look, but again, nothing on goal, and nothing that's really tested the Korean goaltender so far, Yoo Ming-yeon. So while they do have some good zone time here, and they have had a couple good looks, nothing challenging for the Korean goaltenders. Even that shot there is a relatively easy glove save.
Yoo Ming-yeon will make the save, and he's got it comfortably. As you say, nothing tangible yet, although they have had zone possession, and that's a great stat. It's ultimately the most important stat is the one in the score column, and it's still the goose egg, as you see, for Italy, as we're over the halfway point of this hockey game and still looking for ways in which to try to break this Korean defense down.
Well, this is one of the things that the Koreans have done so well all tournament. Even when they are hemmed in their own zone a little bit, like we just talked about, not a lot of great looks against them. It's one reason why they're allowing on average 1 goal per game against. They've only allowed the 4 goals in 4 games, and it's been a huge reason for their success. They really do a good job of clogging up that middle of the ice and then using their speed to get out of the zone as well to try to generate offense.
I guess as an example, we look at that Canada-USA game yesterday, and Lenderos and Dixon and Pauls and and even Bowden stepping up. Big collisions going on at the blue line, and you, of course, notice the defensive work going on so much more because it's so much more physically impacting. Maybe not the same game from Korea being played that way, but certainly they know how to put the stick on the puck and get in the way of offensive players.
They do a good job of it again. They're a very structurally sound team and very well coached team. And you see when there's an opportunity here to try to win a puck battle, they're so fast. Not the biggest team, but it's tough to hit them when you can't catch them, and the Italians are having a tough time of that right now in this game.
They're in behind their own goal line, Italy, a long ways from being troublesome against the Koreans, as they will again just use the angles into the far corner, but this has worked out well for Italy to get a head of steam in behind it, and they'll advance forward. But look at the backtracking coming through the middle of the ice for Korea. They're not giving a whole lot of time for Italy to have a chance to make a play as they quickly smother and close them down. And even over on the far side, they're just as resilient taking the physical contact, and although they're not necessarily the ones initiating it, they have no problem playing that style if in fact you want to employ it against them. If you go too far though and you're excessive, they'll exploit you. They'll take advantage of the things that you do present them. They take what's given to them probably as well as any team we've seen in the tournament.
Troy Gangneung there with a nice hit at the offensive blue line. Is just as you're talking about the fact that they're not shy to throw the body around either. You see a good hit from the Koreans, so good timing on that comment there. And there was the Rocket Man coming through the middle. He was trying to throw a hit, and he's not a big guy at all either. It's like they're reading your mind up here.
Well, I think he was going to go for the hit. He had a chance really to lay out the Italian player there, and I think at the last second he thought, you know what, I'm better served maybe saving my energy for a later moment, but there's a potential injury down as a Korean player. This is Gangneung Shin, who is down on the ice, as we'll have a pause for an injury timeout.
Welcome back. 2-0 the Republic of Korea with the lead. As we took our break there, we saw a collision in the corner. It was Gangneung Shin, the 41-year-old Korean who was down on the ice. We'll take another look at the replay here and see exactly what happened, as it looked like the end of the sled there came up and hit him in the stomach.
Yep, and that's always going to leave a mark and absorb an impact. Probably as much just knocks the wind out of him. And that's never a comfortable feeling if you've had it happen to you. And he just needed an opportunity to get himself back in full flow again with the energy in the tanks. And it looks as though he's going to be okay, and it's good to see.
Trainer came out on the ice, had a moment with him, but he was able to get off the ice on his own. So I'm sure he'll be back in this game. Tough player, two-time Paralympian, playing in his third World Championship. There's a shot right there. Goes off the head of Han Min-soo and deflects into the Italian bench. And there was a member of the staff over there that had to duck quickly to get out of the way of that one.
Well, you've already had it with our own camera crew here, having to get the helmets on to make sure that they're keeping themselves safe. And there, of course, as the players do, Han Min-soo, well, he's got his helmet on, and he needed it there as it goes right off the side and up into the Italian bench. Is now Liberti. He plays a brand of hockey where not only you need the helmet on, but you need the chin strap buckled up, as it is going to be a handcuffed play here from, well, Korea can't quite get the full control of the puck. They make a play here. It's an ambitious one. It's broken up by Korea. There is a heavy shot really coming from the neutral zone there. That was more than a dump in. I think it had the design of flirting with Gabriel Arado's goal.
One thing that we've learned in this tournament, never a bad idea to put the puck on the net. You never know what can happen in terms of rebounds, catching a goaltender leaning the wrong way, maybe trying to get something into the top part of the net. So never a bad idea if you're getting into that offensive blue line and you don't see a great play for yourself. Just throw it on goal, and here's a chance for the Italians.
Oh, Rosa had his chance, and just as he was about to shoot it, he just really lost his balance, and the puck just got away from the perfect shooting position. And again, Korea closed down in time, but really Rosa had a pretty good look there.
And it all starts on the giveaway here, as right there, it's Gangneung Shin unable to get the puck up. Here's Rosa, and as he goes to shoot it, a really nice play from Kim Young-sung to lay the body on him, the 33-year-old defenseman, as he gets his weight onto Rosa, who is shooting the puck. As a result, Rosa's not able to get everything he wants on that, and it's another fairly routine save there for Yu Meng-yeon.
And advancing now into the offensive zone, Korea onto the forecheck, and they don't spend a lot of time, or certainly haven't in this period spent a lot of time in the offensive zone. It really has been 5 shots apiece in the first, and we'll have a look, of course, after this second period as to just how the shots have laid out here. But I'm trying to remember back to a lot of offensive zone time or activity for Korea in the second period. But look at this man now, the Rocket Man, Jung Si-won, and that's worked out well, although his teammates lost his stick in the process.
That was a good opportunity there for the Korean side, but Jang Gung-ho lost his stick. And the Rocket Man had a head of steam coming up the middle of the ice. You could hear the fans in the building start to get excited, and he just drew a penalty with that speed. It's a holding call coming up here against Italy.
Well, what he does is his ability when he does get knocked off stride is to get right back up again. He's so resilient. He's like a pogo stick as he just keeps on going, and he's the Energizer Bunny for this team as Jung Si-won makes that play across, but he chases down every puck that's a possible retrieval for himself, and he's been able to manufacture a power play as Bolasetti just gets a little bit of a hook into him, and you saw him appealing to the referee, Jung Si-won. He says, listen, these Italian backpacks are getting heavy there, referee, and maybe he'll call one, and he did, as now a power play for Korea.
Bolasetti doesn't get a ton of ice time, just 1 minute 4 seconds in the first period. So when he does get his ice, he wants to make a positive contribution to the team, and he doesn't do that there as he's got to haul down the much quicker Korean player. Jung Si-hwan, he's got all kinds of speed, all world speed. And as soon as he got that puck going through the neutral zone, the fans here started making some noise. He's the type of player that when he has the puck, everybody perks up and pays attention.
And he's been given the first part of his power play off, as we're 1 minute and 20 seconds remaining in a different 5-pack unit. But we look at the shooter right here, the first goal scorer, or the second one rather, Kim Young-sung. We see him with that left-handed delivery. We don't see a lot of players who shoot as left-handed, as a left-handed preferred shot, but he has shown us just how capable he is, and it's a nice option for this Korean power play to have both left and right-hand looks.
No doubt about it. Gives you just more space on the ice to generate quality opportunities. We saw a nice hit a moment ago there from Gianluigi Rosa, the 29-year-old. Now there's a puck battle for it in the corner. Seconds tick down, it's back to the point, and here's an opportunity for the Koreans.
And there is that man. He gets blocked, though. Can they go? I think they're going to track him back, and this is rather deliberate. I think Laperti just realizes that he'd pretty much been tracked even before he got a chance to get going. Laperti doesn't have the same speed overall, but he does play a heavy game, and he gets that one down the ice. Is a good clearance.
And off the bench and onto the ice comes 14. He's got a bunch of speed going through the neutral zone. We'll see if they can get the puck to him, as it's now a dump and chase type game, just a little bit too far ahead of Jung Si-hwan.
And it's Caligaris. Sandro Caligaris is just one-on-one against Jung Si-hwan. And even though they're on the power play, you really just need to attach one player to him to make certain that he doesn't get that head of steam that he's looking for. Rosa, he's staying with it. Rosa's doing a pretty good job as trying to do a tap dance through a couple Korean defenders, and this is a light, shallow rebound off of the near boards and doesn't allow Korea to advance onto it with any speed coming through the neutral zone, as they'll just now send it down into the Italian end, and the penalty is over. It's back to 5-on-5 play as we're inside of 15 seconds remaining in this second period. And this might just suit Korea just fine as long as they're able just to keep the Italians to the outside, but maybe something late. Is there a chance in front here for Nils Larch? And Larch just gets handcuffed, and he would have loved to have stolen something late there for Italy. That's the kind of break they need, something from nothing, and it just couldn't happen.
Nils Larch, 3 opportunities in the second period, a couple on the power play also. He's the leading point scorer for this Italian team, and he has been gifted some great looks. Unable to get anything going, even if he can connect on one of those chances. Boy, does that put the Italians in a better spot than they're in now as they enter the third period down 2.
So we will go to a break. It is Republic of Korea 2-0 over Italy.
We welcome you back inside the Gangneung Hockey Center. 2-0 the Republic of Korea with the lead after 30 minutes of play, 1 period to go. And that was another exciting period as we saw some physical elements. We also saw a lot of speed. The Italians were able to generate some good quality looks in that period as well, but the great team defense by the Koreans keep them off the board. As we take a look at some of the highlights from period number 2, and it started early with a nice goal by the Republic of Korea.
This is a power play goal. Right off a set design play here, it goes back and then to the far side to Kim Young-sung. And he just takes the room that's available to him. He's a left-handed shot coming off this right point. And if you give him that type of forward momentum, I think maybe you're right. Gabriel Arado would like that one back. I don't know whether it touches Cavaliere just the last second there, but you have ultimately 3 Italian defenders in front. You didn't have a whole lot of Korean presence in front of the goal, but what you had is a real scorching, hard shot low and on the ice, and probably with an element of surprise, and it doesn't catch Cavaliere, it just catches Gabriel Arado out. And a lot of times the goaltenders are anticipating an elevated shot. When it comes hard, particularly when his sled's facing front onto the shot, here's the play from Young Si-won as he comes across and finds an angle, and look how difficult that angle is. Again, it's a right-hand shot coming off the left wing this time, but look how far out Arado is to be able to find that far side. But they have found a little bit of room, haven't they? And a little bit of a chink maybe in the Italian goal or netminder's armor with those low shots.
Well, so often when a player hits the goalpost, everybody focuses on the player. Oh, what a great opportunity that was, and he almost scored. Let's take a look at it from a goaltender's perspective, because Arado will tell you, hey, I came out and I took away the angle. He didn't have any net to shoot out, and that's why it didn't go in. So from the goaltending perspective, he did his job, and some people think that those should count as saves for goalie because, hey, they came out and they covered the angle, and as a result, the player wasn't able to score a goal. So a good job there by Arado of taking away some of the net there from the very dangerous Rocket Man, as they call him. Take a look at our statistics after 2 periods of play. It was 5-5 in shots after the first period. A slight advantage for the Italians now as they managed 3 shots to the Republic of Korea's 2. But like we mentioned, 2 shots for the Republic of Korea, 1 goal. The Italians had some good looks, especially Nils Larch with a couple of good looks in that period, but they just can't find a way to put quality shots on net.
Well, they just haven't been clinical enough, have they? When they've been given the opportunities, as you can see there by the shots and obviously the goal return, they haven't scored yet, and simply you have to be able to make a play. Sometimes even from nothing when you're not maybe expected. It's not a wide open goal. It's not a 2-on-1. It's just a shot that you're going to have to create that, yes, goes through traffic and finds a way, and they haven't been dangerous enough, in fairness, Italy, in this hockey game, and they haven't deserved a score yet, in fairness. So they're going to have to get better in this third period. They've been in and around the idea, but in and around the idea is not getting it done against a team like Republic of Korea, who make you have to earn everything that you do get against them, and they have, in fact, earned the 2 goals that they've scored today.
The Italians will be hard-pressed now to pick up 3 points. If they're able to get a win in this game, they will guarantee themselves a chance to play for a medal. But right now it's the Republic of Korea with a 2-0 lead as they look to try to catch one of the top 2 teams and potentially play for a gold. Who would have thought that at the start of this tournament? A great performance. As we take a quick break, more from the second intermission when we come back. Our Day 6 coverage continues. Game number 2, it is the Republic of Korea with a 2-0 lead over Italy. And as we look ahead to our third game of this day number 6 of competition, it is Germany and it is Sweden. They currently sit in the bottom 2 spots, 6 and 7, but an important game for both teams, as if the Germans, they're able to get 3 points in this game here, they'll move 1 point back of Norway, who sits in 5th place. Sweden, wouldn't they love to get 3 points in this game, which would allow them to move ahead of Germany and potentially play for a spot in the 2018 Paralympic Games for an automatic qualification. So already playing 5 games in the tournament have been Sweden. This could potentially be their last game if they're not able to pick up points here.
Yeah, it's an important game for both teams, regardless of what's going to happen and whether or not they're going to get an automatic qualification through. It's about making sure maybe you don't finish 7th in this tournament, and you want to be at least in a 6th position and moving forward to 5th. It's about confidence, about having something positive to build on, and equally as well, all of these programs are reliant upon their positioning, and they have people to answer to as well in their home Paralympic committees, and they have to be able to come out here and perform and justify their performance and how they've gone about doing their business and how they go about getting some of the funding they do for their programs. So every game matters, and you have to approach it with that level of regard, because it's Pool A World Championship caliber para ice hockey here. And these teams need to win their games when they're given the opportunities, because all of these things will come to tally and they will come to be examined and cross-examined as time goes on, as they prepare through this Paralympic cycle. And if they've got to go through another tournament to qualify to come to the Paralympic Games, well, that's going to have to be their journey. But you've got to have something in which to push off against from a World Championships.
Jörgen Lundgren, the Swedish head coach, has talked already in this tournament about how they're still a developing country in this sport. He's only got 9 players he's really comfortable playing as they continue to try to get more athletes involved in the sport. So if they can find a way to try to pick up some points here against a German squad, this would be a big deal for them to be able to do so, and they're going to try to definitely have a strong finish here to their tournament as they play their 6th and final preliminary game. They'll have the off day tomorrow, and then we'll see what happens if they're able to get into a spot where they can play in that 5-6 game. So lots still to come here as we get set for that game. We also get set for the 3rd period between the Republic of Korea and Italy. It is next, and it's a 2-0 lead for the host nation. Back inside the Gangneung Hockey Center. And this will be the home to Olympic and Paralympic hockey as well. In just under a year's time, right now it is home of the 2017 World Championships. We take a look at the story of the 2nd period, Brent. The physicality has continued from both sides, and it was a better period from Italy.
It was, and they can continue to build on that. They didn't give up many shots, just the 2 against, and they will be able to go forward. They need to get a goal, of course. You see the shot there from Jung-sun where he just makes something happen, really, from the opportunity that was afforded to him. They only did get 2 shots, and they get a goal, and so that's what we're talking about. So effective are the Koreans with the limited chances that they do get. And then, of course, Korea are going to want to box out and just keep things difficult for Italy to try to break them down. They're in a 2-0 lead. Really, Korea don't need to try to go forward to score anymore. They might take the opportunity if, in fact, Italy overcommit and push too hard. Maybe there will be an odd man rush, but they are actually sturdy enough as a solid defensive unit that they could withstand what Italy throws at them. From their goaltender out, they play a good defensive-minded hockey game, and it may be, in fact, how they have to play this remaining 15 minutes.
Well, they do have a ton of speed, so if the Italians are pressing in this final period to generate some offense, there's no question about it that the Koreans can make them pay with their speed. And we'll see if they'll be able to use that to their advantages. Araudo, you know that he can't allow another goal in this hockey game if Italy wants to have a chance to try to put some points on the board. Kim Young-sung, the 2nd goal scorer for the Koreans. He's got 2 goals now in the tournament. And the opening goal was scored by Jang Dong-shin, who's also got 2 goals now in the tournament. The fans, they're happy so far with the result, as a majority of them cheering on the host nation Republic of Korea. We take a look at Gianluigi Rosa and others for the Italian side. He'll be a big part of this team having any kind of success in the third if they do. He's a great puck mover, and he is going to have to be an effective player as we drop the puck on period number 3.
And Laperti in this drop, and the Canadian official will drop this one, and we are underway. And you know, just a further point about that game that is coming up for 6th and 7th position between Sweden and Germany. And just as we went off camera there, so important to win that and not finish up 7th, because if you are in 6th position, you've got an automatic one-game wonder opportunity to finish in the top 5, because it's a 5th, 6th classification game that we played on game day number 8.
Well, that's what's so great about this tournament. As long as you don't finish in the 7th spot, you're playing for something. You finish in the 1-2, you get a chance at gold. You finish in the 3-4, you have a chance at bronze. And even if you finish in the 5-6, you won't win a medal, but you still do have that opportunity to gain automatic qualification to the Paralympic Games in 2018. And the officials halting play here as they get the squeegee out. We've seen this before in the last couple days with the more humid temperatures. So they'll try to clear some water off the ice here. That will certainly help the Italians, as any shot on the ice, you don't want it just to stop in a patch of water. So good job here by the linesman.
And they've done a good job here with the rink. In between games, you've seen them actually all the way around the edges, making sure with the edger to reduce the buildup that goes along in any ice hockey rink, in and around the kick plates, the yellow kick plates there, where the water from the resurfacing machine does tend to build up and just kind of laps into the corners. And they just make sure that this is a very true and consistent surface for every game that's being played on it, as it's Korea right now inside this opening minute of the third period, under the pressure and a little bit of sticky ice in their own zone, and now having to work really hard in the trenches to just come up with this puck, as well as they've got a very, well, forceful and determined Italian team trying to come up with it themselves. So again, they're turned back as Gangneung plays it around to the near side. And Italy have started well in this third period, and they are a team capable of putting a lot of pressure on you. It's just, where is that breakdown going to come from? And more importantly, who's going to execute and really find something from, you know, a half opportunity and fully convert it? As it's been here, Caligaris out front. This is the chance. Corvino right in front and into the body. Gangneung gets a little bit fortunate there. Coming back, Korea clear their lines. Not perfectly yet. They're not totally out of the woods. And this, they finally do find a chance. And just getting back in time is Florian Planker. And that was their chance, maybe right there potentially, where they've got to make more of it.
It was a great look in front of the net there by Corvino, and he actually gets the puck in behind the goaltender, but it stays out. Another huge save. The goaltending's been so good in this tournament for the Republic of Korea. And if that goes in, we've got a totally different complexion to this game. Still lots of time left to play in the third period. Great job by Italy to come out and get a good offensive opportunity. But at the same time, another huge save as the Republic of Korea hang on right now to this 2-goal lead.
Need to be careful not to take a penalty on young Jung Si-won. And look at him still going. He gets up after being knocked off the play. And that is just the determined two-way play of that man right there, and why he is such an inspirational leader for this Korean side. That's how you inspire your nation, your whole team, not only by what you do offensively, but by how hard he's working defensively to make sure that they're not further exposed when they spent the majority of the first part of this third period inside their own end zone against a really dogged Italian team who was trying to open them up for their first goal.
Well, Jung Si-hwan is a leader not only in para ice hockey, but in para sport in this country. He was the flag bearer for the Republic of Korea at the opening and the closing ceremonies of the Paralympic Games in 2014 in Sochi. He's well recognized for what an elite athlete he is as the Koreans ice the puck here, and he and his line mates will have to go back. And here's another look at the Corvino opportunity. It squeaks between the arm and the body. And a great play there to keep the puck out of the net, but at the same time, Gangneung getting just enough of that, otherwise it trickles in behind him.
And guess who was the one to keep it out of the net there? Jung Si-won.
He's everywhere.
He is everywhere. And, you know, of course, he beats an Italian to the front of the net as well. So if you're more hungry to defend in front of your own goal than the opposition is in order to get to those loose puck opportunities, that says a lot about how the Koreans are approaching this tournament.
No question about that. It's a great observation, and we see them collapse down low, and they don't often get caught. As here's the Rocket Man getting in ahead of almost everybody, and a very hard hit there by Gianluca Cavaliere as he comes across and gets right into the midsection of Jung Si-won. And now we'll have a penalty coming up here. It will go against the Italians. And there might be another one as well, as Macri almost tackles a player to the ice. The Koreans with the puck here and an opportunity. Well, we'll get a whistle right now. We'll see what the call is. It looks like a roughing call coming up here against Italy.
Yeah, a little bit of a broken down shift there. A couple of plays where this one goes to the wide side and trying to track it down. Jung Si-won is getting there first, and they come in against him, and I wonder whether that's teeing and just using that sled into the body. I don't know if that was the original penalty, because Jung Si-won was laying on Cavaliere until they end up just kind of throwing him off here, and then he gets himself back upright. And we'll look at it. Maybe it's the hand there for Macri.
And that's what it was, exactly.
He just gets himself, and we've seen it a couple times where he just gets a little high, and this is going to be a roughing penalty against, and that's not a penalty that the Italians can afford to take. Of course, they're in their own defensive zone under some pressure, but there's a good shot then off the draw as it's quickly taken by Gangneung Shin. And right now, if the Koreans are able to score a third one, that might be enough to comfortably see the Italians at bay.
That would likely be lights out. It's a nice save there by Araudo. Started playing the sport in 2007. His father was a volunteer at the 2007 European Championships. Told his son about the game, and he's been playing it ever since. He won gold at the 2011 European Championships in Sweden as well. A longtime member of this program.
It is a fantastic sport, para ice hockey, and it's got speed, it's got physicality, as you see. It's got great skill and great conditioning, and of course all these athletes, you know, get an opportunity to get out some of that pent-up frustration. Not only is it skillful, but to get that hybrid combination of physicality and that speed involved together, it really is a unique blend, as that one will go for Korea on the power play. And they're a little bit missighted on trying to connect that long pass, and they'll have a face-off now that they will compete for inside their own zone. The crowd here, of course, in most support for Republic of Korea, as we are in Gangneung, and right here on the east coast of the Korean Peninsula. And we're informed some had an opportunity on Easter Sunday, as this is a chance, just flipped up over. It goes off the back crossbar, and that's trouble. That was all sorts of flirtation with the Korean goal, but they find a way in which to put that back to safety. And is there a play being made here? Across, it is going to be a Korean penalty, it looks like, and that's an odd one because they did have possession of the puck, so that must have just happened on the way back, as it's going to be Winkler who comes in to get it first, and he'll get knocked off the play into the corner. Again, more collisions, and the Canadian Webinger is right on top of it, and we'll see what he indicates. He looks to be calling interference again, and it looks to be that he's making eye contact with Gangneung Shin of Korea. So we will have 4-on-4 action for 35 seconds. And then, of course, there'll be an Italian power play coming up.
Well, that's big for the Italians, as now they'll get an opportunity to play at even strength for the next 34 seconds. And then following that, a power play chance. And they had a great opportunity. The puck bounced off the back bar on the top of the net, which propelled it back in front of the net. There's a shot right on. A nice save made.
That's a huge save, just to keep things under control, because just imagine that one goes in, which it could have just as easily off a quick face-off draw and a snapshot in on the Korean keeper. But a chance for both teams just to take a pause, as it's still Korea 2-0 up over Italy in the third period. And action resumes 4-on-4 for 30 more seconds. That quick face-off win by Italy and a shot in. Well taken. It's now Calogeris out front. There's a goal, and it's as quick as that. How about that for the Italians? Extra room means extra time, and boy, do they make it count here with that opportunity. Winkler has buried a big one for Italy.
Well, that is a huge goal for the Italians. You look at Planker taking the face-off, and the puck goes behind the net. There's Calogeris, and going hard to the front of the net is Florian Planker. He gets the goal, so he wins the draw. The puck gets set up behind the net by their top goal scorer, Sandro Calogeris, and then a heads-up play by the veteran Florian Planker after winning the draw, going hard to the net, getting himself in a prime scoring position. And another reason, which Brent, you touched on, was so important for the Italians to try to score quick. They still have 21 seconds left here at 4-on-4 before they have a power play opportunity. So great chances to tie this game coming up here for Italy.
And what a finish there from Planker. And it happened so quick. We just saw the LER at the end of the name, and they both have the same digit, both Winkler and Planker. And with Florian Planker, as you say, with that great face-off win down low, goes to the net, and boy, does he make it count. Here they are again. Calogeris goes up high, and now with Macri coming out of the box, the chance now with the man advantage. Is there a real turn in fortune here? As Leperti will take this puck. Leperti shoots it into the body. Macri will follow up. He doesn't get a whole lot of it. Macri now off the post. Can you believe it right now? Korea are hanging on by a lifeline as they've got a little bit lucky, but are they going to be lucky for much longer? As here comes Leperti in. A shot there. Yu Ming-yun is going to have to be the best player on the ice for Korea.
He is under siege right now. He got just enough of his trapper on that shot. It deflects off the post. A great opportunity in the Italians. Carrying a ton of momentum right now, and they're feeling good about themselves. 40 seconds left on the power play. They have possession of the puck, and here's a chance for Rosa.
Rosa, who likes to just sort of lay into these areas. That was a great shot. It got all the way in on Yu Ming-yun. A little bit of a cross body under his sled, a no-look shot, and that type of deception might be just tricky enough here for the Italians to level this game, and you wouldn't have predicted it, but Italy have started well and are building as this period goes on.
Well, how many times in this tournament have we seen just a quick shot, a deception shot, be just as bit as dangerous as a hard one? An opportunity to try to catch goaltenders and defenders off guard can be just as effective, and we saw a great look there by Rosa.
And a well-weighted clearance that's so important for Korea, as they'll get a wholesale line change, as it does not go for icing, and all the way back are Italy. And as you talk about just those deceptive releases, it's not always about the speed of the shot, it's about the quickness of the release. As Leperti is rather deliberate as he comes across the line, tries to win it back, and Calogeris is in and around the idea right now, and he ends up running in, and there Calogeris just gets a little too far long and ends up going right into Yu Ming-yun, and that really is a costly momentum killer for Italy.
I have no idea what Sandro Calogeris is trying to accomplish here. We'll take another look here. Going hard and just taking the sled right out from underneath Yu Ming-yun, and there's just no reason for that play. He got caught up with the defender. I don't know if he was frustrated, but he had every bit of an opportunity to get out of the way, and he didn't. And that is just such a costly penalty to take at this stage of the game with just over 7.5 minutes to go. The Italians had just scored, all kinds of momentum in zone time, and just a real mental lapse there as Calogeris goes to the penalty box. And this could be lights out if the Koreans can take advantage.
And it's blocked. A good attempt there, first of all, from Italy. And I think, as you're right, it tries to get around the defender and then loses his balance ever so slightly, and then thinking you want to carry on and try to get back up the ice, and then again just lost control and goes right into Yu Ming-yun. But this is a dangerous one. Arado looking around immediately, just saying, where is that puck? And closing their hand on it. That's going to be a delay of game. It's not going to be a penalty, but it's going to be a face-off outside the zone. Or is it going to be? The referee is coming here to the penalty box, and immediately he's talking, and is that going to be a penalty? He is going to assess a penalty against Korea. So I thought it was just a stoppage of play. How quick was that call being made?
Cho Young-jae, you can't close your hand on the puck, or you get a delay of game penalty, and that's exactly what he does here. So momentum's a funny thing in a hockey game, just as you think it's being taken away from the Italians. Now we're back to 4-on-4. And guess what strength we were at when Italy scored their goal? 4-on-4. We'll see if they can take advantage here again. The Koreans may think they're killing a penalty as they ice the puck here, and the faceoff will come back down once more.
And that's one of the difficult parts when penalties start to come thick and fast, as they have in this third period, and pressure starts to mount. You just start to make mental mistakes like this one, and rather than taking plays and taking the ice that's available, they send it for icing. And this faceoff was exactly how the Italians were able to architect their lone goal in this hockey game. And they've been good with the face-offs. They don't win this one, though. As now, look at this here. Is it a little bit too heavy, though? Arado's going to come out. Arado's going to play it. And, oh, and Jung Si-won does well not to make any contact. And that's the difficult part, isn't it, in these sleds, is he can't really stop up right in front of Arado. And he realized that it was just beyond him, so he can't compete for that puck. But you can imagine what kind of almighty awkward collision that might have been.
Well, if you're Arado, the last person you want to see flying down the ice looking for a loose puck is the Rocket Man, Jung Si-won. He's able to get there and cover it, though, and a smart play by the goaltender to come out of his crease and make a play there.
Face-off is taken by Korea. More importantly, now it's been controlled by Jung Si-won. Jung Si-won handcuffs Arado with a quick mid-level shot. We've seen how effective those mid-level shots can be. Is he going to come out? Is he going to make a move? Well, he's just going to hold on to it for now. He's just waiting to see where and when he's going to get the support he needs. What a play, though, from DePauli just to get in there. And this is Gangneung Shin. And a break here now. Here come Italy, and didn't quite get firing immediately as they would like, but they've got a partial 3-on-1 here as Larch crossed this line. They've now recovered. Planker, Rosa following up here. Who's going to shoot? Oh, they score! And Italy again have found a way. 4-on-4. It's DePauli who gets his second goal of the tournament, and this game has just been turned on its head in the blink of an eye.
Wow. What a great opportunity here for the Italians. It's on a bit of a broken play as Rosa can't get the shot away. DePauli follows it up. Bodies in all the right places for Italy. We talked about how they scored 4-on-4 already. Christophe DePauli finds a way to get that puck through. And we've got a brand new hockey game. The Republic of Korea has taken a timeout now as they'll try to slow things down. 6:14 to go here in the third period. We have 4-on-4 hockey, and then for 24 seconds, when the Italian power play runs out, they'll have the penalty runs out, they'll have a power play of their own. So, and boy, are things going in Italy's favor right now as the Republic of Korea will just look to slow things down, discuss what they have to do to try to get a swing here in their favor.
Italy apparently did not read the script that it's the home nation club that was to come out here and perform and get themselves another victory and put themselves in firm position of a possible medal game. And Italy have thoughts of their own, and boy, have they come out and expressed them here in this third period. They have now pegged back the Koreans and leveled the game at 2, and very much now a hockey game with just over 6 minutes in play in regulation that is entirely into balance. But as you say, Mike, earlier, that if there is a victory for either of these teams in extra time, the scenario, of course, just slightly changes, but really they're both vying for that third and fourth position, and depending on who is victorious in this one will determine which one of those positions it'll be.
No question, this is shaping up like there's a good chance it will be the bronze medal game, and if it is, I think fans will be happy with it, and I think our viewers watching will be happy with it. This has been such an entertaining game. The Republic of Korea getting the first 2 goals, but a good pushback in the second period by the Italians, and they came out with some great opportunities here in the third. They found a way to get a couple of goals. We talked about how good the Republic of Korea has been in limiting other teams' opportunities. They've only given up coming into this game 4 goals in 4 games. But 2 on the board for the Italians in 1 period. And here's an opportunity for Laperdi as he sends one in on goal. Kicked aside easily, though, by Gangneung.
And why not, after conceding a couple goals in this period and confidence, I'm sure, for Gangneung, not quite as it was in the earlier parts of this hockey game. And a long shot, anything can happen. We have seen them go right past the sled, and particularly as Gangneung plays that front-on style, but this is a race for the puck. And good play by Rosa as he separates his man from the puck, and now they're advancing forward, and this is a much more encouraged Italian team as Caligaris comes through the slot area. He's stripped momentarily by the Koreans, and this is going to have to be an almighty tussle. The best hockey played by both of these teams defensively has to come up here these next few minutes, but it's Italy right now with definitely the momentum.
Italy, a couple seconds left on a power play. They've got the advantage of more people in the attacking zone. Here's Rosa with an opportunity as he gets the puck down low to Flanker. And this looks just like a totally different Italian team in the second half of this game. Just incredible effort they're putting forward right now, and the Koreans have to find a way to weather this storm. At least get this game into extra time.
That one looks to be heavy enough that we'll go for icing against Korea. So 4:47 officially on the game clock high above center ice here in Gangneung Hockey Center. And it's an icing against Korea, who have looked like they've run out of ideas temporarily, as Jung Si-won goes a long ways to ultimately get taken off the play by Gianluigi Rosa, the bigger body of the two. And they've just locked Jung Si-won in their sights and try to just keep him from being the danger man to unlock this game, as it will be Italy. Oh, there's a hit. That's a problem, as McCree gets into the body of the Korean player, and is that Jung Si-won who got the almighty collision, and that could change things in a hurry.
That is a devastating hit. You never like to see the sled get up into the body of a player. And Jung Si-won able to get himself back upright. It appears he's okay, which is good news, as he will get to the Korean bench on his own power. We'll step aside for a moment. 4:39 to go in the third period, and a power play coming up here for Korea. Welcome back. 2-2 is the score, and the Republic of Korea going to the power play. Pretty nasty teeing penalty there, as Andrea Macri, the 25-year-old from Turin, Italy, got his sled up into the chest area of Jung Si-won. Jung Si-won is on the bench right now, not out to start this power play, but he did skate over to the bench under his own power, so I'm sure we'll see him soon. Fortunate, no injury there for the star Korean player.
And very sportsmanlike, in fairness, in acknowledging McCree and just kind of tapping him on his back with his stick, just to say, you know, it was just one of those things that happens in the course of the game. But in my opinion, it looked as though maybe McCree was lucky not to have got more than just a 2-minute minor. We have seen that called as a major in this tournament already, and particularly against Jung Si-won, who of course is a prime target for the Italian defense. And if they could in fact be disruptive to him, it maybe would be seen as a game plan by the referee. But nonetheless, it's a power play for Korea. They'll come forward, and Gabriel Arado needs to be careful, as the blue, red, and white of Korea. Now, with just a minute remaining in his power play, we'll wait for Jung Si-won to return to the ice, and he just seems to be ever resilient. Nothing seems to faze him. He's out there again with speed, looping, getting ready. There's a chance maybe they could have fed him through if they had just had their head up through the neutral zone, maybe catch him at the offensive blue line. And nonetheless, the play is broken up there in the neutral zone, and the action with 3:24 remaining. Of course, we would go to an overtime period as we look at this collision again, and that really is unfortunate. An unfortunate collision, but as we say, that could have maybe been more.
Could have been worse, and fortunately, there wasn't direct contact, it looked like, into the chest area. The sled just grazed off of the upper body a little bit. That's still hard contact, though, and if you ever have any doubts about how physical this sport of para ice hockey is, you see hits like that, it'll give you every indication. More physical play here on the side boards. It is a physical game. We talked about earlier the Italian player suffering a broken finger in this tournament. We've seen a Norwegian player had to be stretchered off the ice and spend a bit of time in hospital. Fortunately, Ole Oiseth was okay and returned to game action the following game as well, scored a goal also. So very physical game, and there is the potential for injury, no question about it.
And that's been turned over, and it's just as quickly stripped by Planker, who scored the opening goal for Italy in this one. And you see some of those cool older heads right now for Italy playing their part in this hockey game. And you know, Rosa, a nice play there just to see off Jung Si-won. Another great move by Rosa. This is the type of smart puck management that the Italians can employ and really bring to the table, as it's now 5 against 5 again, as that power play has expired. And Andrea Macri, my apologies, there is a penalty still, and it is against Korea. So they will still be short-handed, as it's the advantage for Italy. And they're going to try to come through. De Pauli, who scores that second goal, and Yu Ming-young is going to elect to control it and have it in his grasp for another defensive zone face-off.
Yeah, at the last whistle, when we showed you that scrum on the sideboards, a cross-checking minor was issued to the Korean side. So a power play opportunity now, 48 or rather 50 seconds to go on the power play for Italy, 2:14 to go in this game. They've already got 2 in the period. They've been gifted some real quality opportunities here to find a way to win this hockey game, as it looks like the Italians will take a timeout. We'll talk things over here and try to draw up a play. It was Park Woo-chul, number 90, the defenseman. 4th time in a world championship for him that took the penalty for the Korean side. And the Italians, they look up at the clock there. They know that just over 2 minutes to go here in this 3rd period. If they can make something happen on this power play, there's a good chance they can get out of here with a full 3 points. And that, again, would guarantee them the opportunity to play for a medal.
And that's Massimo Durin with the coaching board there now. You don't see him necessarily on camera with the interviews that we do prior to the game. And he is, of course, first native-speaking Italian. And he utilizes his coaching staff to communicate, of course, in the international language of English, generally through the International Paralympic Committee. And here, of course, in our broadcast is now you're looking at the Korean coach, Seo Kwon-suk, and he wants to make sure to impress his point on his team. They want to get, of course, to extra time, but if they can find a way to steal a victory here, although they have to kill for 50 more seconds of this remaining 2:14 in this 3rd period. So 5 against 4, Italy with this offensive zone face-off. We've seen what they can do already with this opportunity. It was 4-on-4 before. Now with the player advantage, they don't win it, and that works out fine, although it's blocked by Leperti. Planker is there. They try to get it back to Rosa. Rosa comes in, and you go down the boards rather than cutting to the middle of the ice. But again, that offloading play and the puck support from Italy has been very good in this 3rd period, noticeably improved as far as how they've moved that puck around. Need to be careful here not to take a penalty, though, as they have this opportunity. These are precious seconds to manage this regulation time equally as well. Rosa gets broken up, and he's now back upright and will get involved in the play again. So that's allowed to go the length of the ice, and that'll probably be the last time they get to clear it, as in a moment's time they will have Park Woo-chul back out onto the ice for Korea. And Rosa, so often the man with a plan with that puck on his stick, is Caligaris. Gets it up to Leperti. Leperti will just slingshot it in and around goal. And to the far side is Florian Planker trying to read it, but it's cut off by the Korean defense. And they'll play it around, and it's in these troughs again, in these trench areas where the game may be won and lost potentially, as Laperti just lofts one in. It's batted down by the Korean defense. A trouble in front. Caligaris gets a shot, and it's the Pauli who scored the second one. In and around, looking for a rebound in front. Banked away to a corner, and they'll have to support to the near side. Lee Jung-sung, he was the scorer of the goal. Remember, the first one of this hockey game on that fabulous passing sequence from Korea.
30 seconds to go here in the third period, and the great puck mover for the Italians, Rosa, in over the line. He gets a shot on goal. Here's another opportunity as Laperti can't get a handle on it. Italy, they've looked like such a different team in the second half of this game, and they have got the Koreans all over the ice in their own end. And lucky not to take a holding penalty was Laperti, as trying to get out of the zone was Cho Young-jae.
Oh, maybe something late, but it looks like time will be against them. And is that going to go for icing? There's 0.3 officially on the official score clock here when we're inside of the remaining second for sure. They will have one more drop of the puck in regulation, and it will be inside the Korean end. And I think for the most, they should be able to smother this out. We will be going to extra time.
Well, if the Italians can score a goal in 0.3 seconds, all the credit to them, but that would take something pretty magical. So it looks like we'll be out to overtime. See the fans thoroughly enjoying this game, a ton of action. And why not play extra hockey here as we get a little bit of jawing, a little bit of pushing and shoving. It's been an intense battle, and you'd be surprised if there wasn't a lot of emotion right now as we get set for overtime. What a hockey game, and what a job by the Italians coming back in the third period to square this game at 2. A couple of 4-on-4 goals from them, and they have the fans stunned here at the Gangneung Hockey Center as we'll take a look at the goals by the Italians here in the third period.
And this is right off the draw. Planker who wins it, or it goes down low. Caligaris gets to it, and Caligaris with only one stick there finds a way. Not only does he find a way to make sure to pass and not hit his own stick, but of course the strength enough in which to get there, to have the turn and look, and then to find Planker.
And the quick release from Planker as well. And then here on a bit of a broken play, Rosa couldn't get a shot off, but it bounces off of Kim Young-sung right onto the stick of DePauli. And look at the great shot here. There's a lot of traffic in front of the net. It's on the ice, and takes a little bit of a ricochet off the defender and in. The hockey gods smiling on the Italians on that shot. It is a 2-2 hockey game, and in about a minute and a half from right now, we'll drop the puck on overtime. The way that overtime in this tournament works, the way that extra time works, there will be a 5-minute overtime period. We've seen it already in the tournament. The Norwegians winning a game out in Bakke, scoring an overtime winner. So there is 5 minutes of overtime. If there is no goal in the overtime period, it will be a shootout. 3 shooters aside. If it remains tied after that, it is a sudden death shootout. So high drama here on display at the Gangneung Hockey Center.
And both teams with their opportunities to reconvene at the bench and get their final instructions, as we're inside of a minute before puck will drop again. And nobody has left the building here in the matinee affair. It's the afternoon matchup. Italy and Korea set to do battle in overtime. And this is game day 6 at the Gangneung 2017 World Para Ice Hockey Championships. And these two sides are giving nothing here in the preliminary round. This could very much be, as we've said, a medal round matchup still to come in this tournament.
What a treat that would be if these two countries end up facing off for bronze. If it's anything like this one, it will be full value for all the fans here in the Gangneung Hockey Center. And we are just 10 seconds away from dropping the puck here in overtime. The goaltender's back to their net. No surprise that the Koreans send the Rocket Man, Jung Si-hwan, out on left wing to start this period. Werner Winkler will take the face-off for the Italians. Macri out there as well. The next puck, if there is one that finds the back of the net here in the next 5 minutes, it'll be a thrilling game winner.
And of course, it's 4-on-4 action in overtime. So that by right, of course, there's no penalties. It's just the reduction of one player of each side, and therefore some more room, creating more offensive opportunity, which is the game plan to determine this in open play rather than going to the game-winning shots potentially in a golden goal scenario. But it is Winkler again, just outside the Korean blue line. It's one.
And you might think that the 4-on-4 would favor this Korean team. They've got a lot of speed, but as we mentioned in the third period, it was 2 goals at 4-on-4 from the Italians. So a bit of a toss-up here, who has the advantage in overtime. This game has been about as even as it gets.
And a quick play across, and maybe not as accurate as wanted to be. Good play by Han Min-soo. They are, oh, they're going to make a play down low. They're not afraid, are they? Korea making that pass across the blue line and maybe inviting a little bit of trouble there. You have to be so precise and make sure that the opposition isn't reading it. It's got to still be heavy enough that they can't intercept it and maybe go on a break themselves.
Definitely trying to mitigate risk as much as possible here. And those cross-ice passes, you have to be sure of yourself in an overtime scenario more than any other time. As the Koreans getting some good zone time here, they've got one man back just to make sure that they don't get caught. Hanging out in the neutral zone there is Han Min-soo, making sure that there's no odd man rushes. And well, 14, he just goes about anywhere he wants on the ice. He can catch anybody.
What a great play by Cavalier, not to get rid of it early. He makes that play to the far side, but they've done well here in this shift. Italy to control their possession, so have Korea, and neither side really giving a look yet. There hasn't been a shot in overtime as yet, but now it's Italy's turn just to control the puck in the offensive zone and see if they can't find the first shot here that really tests Yoo Min-yoon. Is there going to be an overlap and an offload? It's thrown in from Andre McCree, and is that Blanker rather who gets the shot, and that's a dangerous short hopping bounce. He's got to close it down at the top of the crease and to keep it under control for a whistle.
The 48-year-old veteran Werner Winkler in front of the net there. You see the puck bounce right in front of the goaltender and it hits him in the chest. There was a space that was open there between the blocker and the body on the ice. Those are so hard to pick up for a goaltender when you've got a floating puck that bounces about 3 feet in front of you. You have no idea where it's going to go. So a nice job there from Yoo Min-young to make sure he gets his body in front of it. The Italians pressing here, trying to get the game-winning goal.
Korea as well, they collapse defensively, and they do it as well as any team we've seen. Their defensive record is superlative in this tournament, and allow just a powerhouse like Canada only 2 goals against. They've allowed 2 goals here against the Italians. A different brand of hockey being played, but in fairness to Italy, really came to play in that third period, down 2-0, and found those 2 equalizing goals. And now they find themselves here in overtime, looking for 2 points. Both sides already awarded 1 apiece, and they'll just now look to split them. Into the corner, it is Italy looking to just try and draw this defense out and create a passing lane. They've created one here. Stepping in, Cavalier gets a good shot, and it goes just to the short side of Yoo Min-young, and that was as dangerous as we've seen so far in the overtime period. As across this line changes, Italy do well not to have too many players on the ice at a time, and there he is, Jung Si-won. In on top of the puck. He's got away from Cavalier. Might throw the brakes on here. He's looking for a stick. He's tried to bank it off Arado, who overcompensates and leaves a little bit of daylight between himself and the post. And from here, it's the offload. Cavalier has been steady pair of hands on this opening couple of shifts. The captain for Italy, Caligaris, immediately met by the Korean defense as they spearhead right into the middle of them. This up the middle of the ice is Jung Si-won. Got a play here. Arado, I think, is going to stay in goal. It's going to be won this race as Andrea McCree gets handcuffed. He actually gets himself into, loses his momentum and unable against his own natural forward progress to be able to stop and turn it back the other way. Is Laperti now across this line. Laperti tries to go up and break down this Korean defense through the air.
Well, lucky there wasn't an interference penalty there on Rosa as he took out Gangneung Shin. And Young Si Juan was looking for his teammate there to find him with a up ice pass. Rosa took his man out and was lucky he wasn't called for interference.
A late play here, Rosa, who might now benefit from that. He gets a shot off. It's low and off the blocker of Yu Ming-yun, and that's the best chance we've seen in this overtime. The way it's going now, inside of 20 seconds remaining. Is there another one from Rosa? It's blocked by Han Man-soo in front, and they'll have to keep going here. Right in front is Andrea McCree, and Caligaris will chase this one down. Seconds, though, against both sides to try to get something in open play. Maybe something heroic here, but it looks like from the outside, Arado will be able to see that one to safety, and we will, in fact, go to game-winning shots to determine who is going to get 2 points in this hockey game and who, of course, will just stay with the one. That's our first time with this scenario in the tournament so far.
Just phenomenal theater here at the Gangneung Hockey Center. A great opportunity for a game-winning goal for the Italians and a big save. We've seen a lot of big saves from Yu Ming-yun. He makes another one with under 30 seconds to go in overtime. We'll take a look at the opportunities here. This is Plonker with that knuckle puck from the point. It bounces, and you see the gap right there as it trickles, and that was so close to going in. Really nice save, really fortunate for the Koreans. And then another opportunity, point blank here, whistle just wide of the net. The Italians with the better of the looks in overtime. We'll get a quick Zamboni of the ice here as we get set for the shootout. And Rosa, this was another big save by the Korean goaltender. It's a 2-2 score, so they'll flood just the middle of the ice here as we get set for our first shootout of the tournament. Why not? What may end up being a bronze medal preview.
Well, I don't think anybody would have necessarily predicted it, certainly after 30 minutes of play. But as we went through, the Italians got stronger in that remaining 15 minutes, and both teams level pegging in the overtime. And so here we are with the drama of the game-winning shots, penalty shots. And of course, we name it game-winning shots because, of course, the game is on the line as opposed to a penalty being taken. And they are awarded the penalty shot just in lieu of open action in the course of regulation time. So, yes, they are resurfacing the ice and that middle section where the players are most likely going to be handling the puck. They're trying to make that as consistent and as true for both teams to have an opportunity to handle it to the best of their ability and to make sure they leave every bit of skill out there on the ice for all these fans who've enjoyed an excellent day of hockey.
Shootout coming up next. 2-2 score, Italy, Republic of Korea. We've got a thriller inside the Gangneung Hockey Center. It is a 2-2 score. Overtime solved nothing between Italy and the Republic of Korea. The host nation scored twice. The Italians scored twice in the third to tie it up, and it will be Italy going first in the shootout as we look at some late chances in overtime. A great opportunity here to get the puck in for the Italians. They couldn't do it, and it is Caligaris who will take the first shootout opportunity. Here's Caligaris, stick handling, great moves, and he goes top shelf, twirls the stick, a great celly as well, and Caligaris has Italy on the board.
Well, he just comes in, he's just very calm and deliberate, isn't he? He gets the commitment from Gangneung, but he goes under the sled, buys time, and then elevates with that right hand, and he makes no mistake of it going high up into the top of the goal. And you would have guessed it, the first shooter for Republic of Korea, Jung Si-won. He has got as big a head of steam coming into this one. All about speed, but he slows up a little bit. He's got control. He's poised. He's looking in goal. He's got Arado beat, but he doesn't. In the end, Arado throws out the glove and outstretches so that Jung Si-won can't get around the end on him.
That is a huge save by Arado. We'll take another look. A lot of speed, and Jung Si-won ends up just getting in too close. He runs out of room, and he's got no space to elevate the puck. And now, Nils Larch, leading point scorer in this tournament coming into this game for the Italians. He's got a chance to get them a second goal. Here's Larch. He loses the handle, he gets it back, and it rolls off his stick. A little too cute there by Larch. He lost the handle at the first go, and he lost it again at the side of the net, unable to score.
And you see the indication as we look here at Larch, he just didn't quite get that touch. He needed that touch there to corral it, so he knew he had the puck confidence to be able to elevate it. But we saw the coach, Seo Kwon-suk, talking about just getting a good shot off, elevating it, and maybe not going to come in quite as hard and as fast this time. More deliberate, and this is the big left hand of Kim Young-sung. Is he going to elevate? Is he going to go up? He goes to the backhand side, but Arado stays with it. And of course, they've seen the big forehand left-hand side. He ends up going to his weaker side, and Arado outweighting him.
A nice play there by Arado as well to stay with the puck, and not a lot on that backhand shot. Maybe a forehand would have been a better idea. And now, Gianluigi Rosa, a chance to win it for Italy. He is the third shooter. He's been so good for this team in this tournament. As he comes right down Main Street, he's got it with the left, got it with the right, back to the left, and it's top shelf. Gianluigi Rosa has won it for Italy in the shootout.
And a fabulous finish. You can see a delayed reaction from the Italians on their own bench as you see Rosa comes in, and you talk about a masterclass in execution. Straight one-on-one as he goes right to left, and then the big hoister up into the top left corner. And both teams so inexperienced in this golden goal and this extra shot scenario, a little bit undecided as to whether or not they could go out and celebrate that victory. It was Massimo Durin encouraging his team to go out and encourage and, of course, acknowledge Rosa, and what a well-taken shot that was.
A perfect shootout from the Italians, nearly. They get 2 out of 3 goals in the shootout, but it's enough as Arado shut the door in goal for them. What a phenomenal game that was. The Italians pick up 2 points, the Koreans 1, so the Koreans now have 10 points in this tournament. Italy now with 8 points in this tournament, and that will almost guarantee us a bronze medal game between Italy and Korea. Again, crazy things can happen in a tournament like this, but there is an excellent chance this will be a bronze medal matchup. And I don't think the fans here would have it any other way after the game we were just treated to, Brent. That was phenomenal hockey from both sides. And what a gutty effort by the Italians to come back in this game, force extra time, and pick up the win in the shootout.
Well, to go to the game-winning shot scenario, I think it indicates that we were level pegging all the way through the regulation, and then, of course, overtime, and into that scenario, too, where you just see a couple well-taken shots by Italy. Italy, who looked as though maybe, of course, one more goal was going to put them to bed today. They couldn't score at Korea, couldn't knock out the Italians, and they hung around long enough and did the rope-a-dope and found a way to come back and make it count when it needed most. And if that is, in fact, what we're going to see potentially in a bronze medal match, I think there will be even more attendance for that one, as everybody got their full money's worth in today's matinee.
A terrific game now as we will see the player of the game award for each side. I really like the game from Rosa. Not only does he score there at the end to win it for the Italians, we talked about how great he is in terms of dictating the play for them from the back end. That was just a phenomenal game by both sides. One of the more exciting games we've had in this tournament.
What would be an interesting stat is the actual puck possession time that Rosa has the puck on his stick. I would think that more than any other Italian player, he does have the puck on his stick. And you got to remember that these players, as much as they're on the ice for 15 minutes of running time, every single one of them has a very small percentage of actual puck time. There's a few players that carry the majority of the puck, and a lot of time you're playing without it. But Rosa, more than any other player, as we look at the award now recognized for the Korean team, and coming down to get it is Lee Jung-kung. And he, with an outstanding day today, he was the opening goal scorer, remember, on that beautiful tic-tac-toe and elevated shot from Korea to get things started. So he will await now the presentation of the Player of the Game award to the worthy Italian team member. And as Mike indicates, Rosa with an outstanding hockey game and maybe a few different options. That goal from Planker gets things started as well off of a set play. He really made things happen as he was the center iceman on that draw.
And it is Plonker, a tremendous game again from the veteran Florian Plonker from Bolzano, Italy. He's been playing this sport for 10 years, 40 years old. He wears an A for this team, no question. He's one of the leaders. He's a multi-sport athlete. He had a phenomenal game here for the Italians. What a thrilling finish this was on day 6. And this actually sets up what is going to be an incredible finish to this tournament on the last game of the tournament. We'll get into that in just a second, but before we do, we'll see the handshakes here between these player of the game winners for each side, and we'll take a listen to the Italian national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will now play the anthem of the winning team. Please honor the anthem of Team Italy.
관중 여러분, 승리팀의 국가 연주가 있겠습니다. 이탈리아 팀 국기를 향해 주시기 바랍니다.
And as both teams get ready to shake hands, we might have to give the best singing performance of a national anthem to the Italians as they triumphantly and in unison perform a great rendition of their anthem, and so proudly standing at attention as both teams will now shake hands there at center ice. And it really was a well-contested hockey game played in a great spirit, and both teams is worthy of an opportunity maybe to get the full complement of points today. But what a gutty performance from the Italians to pull that out from when it looked as though they were really their backs against the wall.
Well, after the first period, it was definitely the shots were even at 5 apiece, but it was the Republic of Korea with the better looks, and they got another goal in the second period to take a 2-0 lead. But you really saw, as this game progressed in that second period, the Italians start to finally break through, get some looks on goal, and the team defense of the Republic of Korea break down a little bit. And then into the third period, the Italians did such a good job of creating offense, 4-on-4 scenarios. Both their goals came at 4-on-4. They ended up pushing this thing to overtime. They had the better of the opportunities in the overtime period as well. And it went to a shootout, and Italy just dominated. 2 goals in the shootout. The Republic of Korea unable to score as they got in a little tight on Araudo, and neither opportunity a real phenomenal one for the Republic of Korea. First shootout game so far of this World Championship, and this was a phenomenal matchup between 2 great countries in para ice hockey. Let's take another look here at some of the shootout action in this game. We saw some great moves by the Italian skaters, and it started with Sandro Caligaris, number 9. He's a leading goal scorer in this tournament for the Italians. He's 4 goals coming into this thing. And just look at the stick work here as he goes under the sled, left to right, and top shelf, no doubt about it.
And then the follow-up here from Rosa, just as considered. You see his head up. He's had a look to see just where he might go on Gangneung when he gets in close. And you have to be so dedicated and so, of course, committed to the shot you're going to take. You've got to keep your head up and see what's available. But you haven't got a whole lot of time to second-guess yourself when you get within 15 feet arriving at the goaltender. You need to know what you're going to do. And, of course, both times, the Italians go up high and top drawer stuff as they just finished this game with style, and of the 2 sides able to really take their chances.
No doubt about it, and the updated standings now have become very interesting as we are on day 6. We are through 2 games. There's still 1 game to go today. It's Germany versus Sweden. They currently sit in the 6 and 7 spot in the standings. But why this is so interesting now as we take a look at the updated standings is with the 2 points, Italy now has 8. Norway has 5 points. The goal differential slightly favors the Italian. They're at -8. The Norwegians are at -10. So in the final game of this tournament in the preliminary round, game 21 of the preliminary round, the last game tomorrow, it is Italy against Norway. If the Norwegians can win with a better than +2 goal differential, they will actually move up into 4th place, even though the teams would be tied in points. If they can get that goal differential slightly better than the Italians, then they would play the Republic of Korea for bronze. So a lot on the line in the final preliminary game in this tournament. This is setting up to be a phenomenal finish. Sandro Caligaris, a huge reason why the Italians pick up a couple points. We'll go downstairs to hear from him.
Sandro, you just beat the home team on their ice in a thrilling penalty shootout. How are you feeling right now?
Yeah, it was great to win the game. We was 2-0 behind, and yeah, it is a very good feeling to win.
And Italy has never finished higher than 5th place at a World Championships, and after today's win, you guys are in 3rd place. What does that mean for your para ice hockey program?
It's a big step ahead for also a medal that we can take this year, and we look forward and would like to do it.
And what does Italy need to do if you'd like to walk away here with a medal?
If we play our game like in the practice, and we know we can do it, and also Norway, we see the Korean, we can beat both of them, and when we play good together and we do it, it can go good this year.
And lastly, how will you celebrate today's victory?
Yes, not a lot. We have tomorrow another game against Norway. We will also win this game. It's not that we play not hard like today and just recover a little bit, and tomorrow at 7 we want to make our next win.
Thank you.
Caligaris, who scores that opening goal in the game-winning shot scenario, and that puts so much pressure on the Republic of Korea to have to be able to respond, and they didn't when Jung Si-won, as you might have expected, was able to be able to equalize the score, and really that sort of dictated terms and got things going for Italy in those game-winning shots.
Such a great effort from the Italians as they carried a lot of momentum into the overtime period. They actually had the better of the opportunities in that overtime period. They were unable to score. We take a look at the final stats from this game. The shots end up favoring the Italians by a score of 17-12. See the penalty minutes there. There was a high amount of penalties in this game, 20 minutes in total, 12 for the Italians, so a lot of power play opportunity, and that created some 4-on-4 situations as well, which is where the Italians scored both of their goals in this hockey game. It goes to a shootout, and you just felt with the momentum that they were carrying as this game went farther and farther along that they might have the better of the looks in the shootout period. That's what happened. The goaltending for the Koreans has been so good in this tournament. It was in this game as well, but just the precision shooting and the great stick handling by the Italians in that shootout, second to none in this game. That's why they get the win.
And you wonder maybe a little bit of experience. You saw some of the old cooler heads and the Comber veterans with great puck presence and puck management being able to be a difference in that third period. Florian Planker, who gets that opening goal. Rosa had such an outstanding game, and then Caligaris gets things going. He was leading the team in goal scoring and then scores a key goal in those game-winning shots. So the players you expect from maybe a little bit more depth than what was executed today from the Italians, but lots more action still to come here on game day 6.
No doubt about it. We've got Germany versus Sweden. If you think that the action's done here today, think again. Why is this an important matchup? Germany right now sitting in the 6th spot, Sweden sitting in the 7th spot. Whichever team finishes in 6th place has an opportunity to play for automatic qualification to the Paralympics next year. So a lot on the line as Germany takes on Sweden. 7 o'clock local time. We hope you will join us then. If you're just watching this game, why wouldn't you join us? It's been a phenomenal day 6 here at the World Championship. We hope to see you in a couple hours.